Houston is like playing, like, again, how do you play this matchup? The average answer is, guys, you turtle on point and you just survive. But that doesn't work. They're moving, right? They're moving, right? So they don't want to get off angle on point. So look what happens. Bap takes an angle. They TP out. Shu walks off of point. Symmetra TPs off of point. And they actually set up an angle to shoot on point. The freaking brawl composition set up an angle to shoot on point. And there you go, right? So then Donghack thinks he's slamming people. He slams nothing, he mines nothing, and gets pincered from the outside. Bam. There it is. You see it? You see it? You got two people on point. The tables have turned. The turns have tabled. But yeah, I mean, I think like a quick TLDR here. Atlanta's just dominant. They're freaking amazing at like everything. They have the best backline in the league. They're the best DPS line arguably in the league at Sombra Tracer for sure. They're extremely flexible. The team play is good. The understanding is good. The experience is good. The coordination is good. Everything about Atlanta has been phenomenal this season. One of the most domineering performances that we've seen in Overwatch League over any period of time ever. Obviously, it's too late to hand the championship trophy, or too early, but this is some of the best Overwatch that we've seen ever. So I think giving credit where credit is due. Houston is a very good team that had a very slow start to the stage. Definitely struggling. What did they lose to? The Mayhem? I think they lost to Boston as well, right? So two of their losses coming in just the past week. But then obviously they have been historically one of the teams that could compete with Atlanta at times. Thanks for the sub, mate. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, here we go. So rollout here.
Exactly what I just said.
Where, yeah,
Sen Mei versus Sojourn Mei. Okay, Sojourn Mei on the rollout, so they get the TP first and they come back out.
To just kind of get it out there
so
and just move on.
I'm gonna kind of wait to see how things are settled. Thank you. Before I talk about the composition, because it looks like Atlanta's kind of confused here. Okay, it looks like Atlanta might have wanted to swap or something. I'm not sure what's going on. So basically, here's how this matchup goes. Okay, you use a Mei wall, you use an Emesis form. You do a lot of damage to the enemy Ramatra if you get a good Mei wall and you get good focus fire. Or, even better, you get a good Mei wall onto the enemy Mei and you force ice block. The reason why that's big is because the Mei is generally the easiest target to focus down that's playing near-ish to the front line. And also a Mei in ice block is not doing damage. All right, so that means that you just have an inherent damage advantage as long as she isn't in the ice block. In addition to that, because I'm Spilo and because angles are angles, one of the other things too is about which Sojourns are going to be able to take a better off angle, either to farm backline or even just to farm the front line and build rail faster. The other thing about Sojourn as well is if you don't have an angle with your mouse 1 at the start, you would love to have an angle with your mouse 2 as the fight progresses, because it's going to allow you for better rail angles besides just shooting the enemy ram in the head, right? So finding an off angle here and there. Now, for whatever reason, Atlanta rolls out with SimTP, but ends up giving up a lot of space. Oh, Fielder's on the wrong hero.
Where, yeah, but you said it with like a thousand other words.
Fielder's on the wrong hero, guys. We are in an Overwatch League game, and Fielder rolled out in the wrong hero.
Exactly what I just said.
Where, yeah, but you said it with like a thousand other words in it.
Fielder was on Ana. They rolled out on the wrong hero.
Yeah, where it was pretty easy to just...
And that's it. They lost space because he literally rolled out. I'm pretty sure this happened with London back in the day. I feel like Blase like picked Junkrat on this map at some point when he was supposed to play like Hanzo or something, or Mei. I don't remember. It's been a long time. But I swear this has happened in a match with me before. Yeah, lip swap because they're TPing out. You see? I'm skeptical that this was like maybe okay.
Yeah, but you finish like can not have.
That's almost exactly.
Here's what I'm thinking. Was this Atlanta scouting before the swap? I don't think so though, because they make the swap to Sojourn Bap long before they could have even known. Like I think maybe they see Sojourn really quickly. Okay, we're gonna give Atlanta the benefit of the doubt. We're gonna say that maybe they heard Sojourn shooting or something. I don't know. There's no way they could have seen Sojourn, but maybe they heard Sojourn shooting, so they say, okay, guys, they're not on dive. Go brawl, go brawl, go brawl. No idea. That's the best guess that I have. But it is an extremely interesting decision. Did they think it might have been Sim Mei? They might have thought maybe some sort of dive as well. in which case maybe they wouldn't have wanted to roll it on the comp. I'm honestly not sure. There's too many options here. If they go Ryan May Sim, they would have played Ana probably. Yeah, that's true. Looking for a Biodate on frontline from an off angle, that's possible. Yeah. Really weird.
You know,
So a lot of space lost here. Not a huge deal because the point's not unlocked. So somebody has to stay on point for Houston if they want to cap, which does mean that they can retake space because one of the people will be stuck on point. But strange nonetheless. Taking White Room is good. Shield is forced. There's the touch. A really early nemesis form, a Donghak. A Donghak. I wish to goodness I could remember his name. A lot of pressure on Fearless on main, but honestly, like, not a phenomenal neutral from really either team. So, like, this is how we would want this to be played a little bit better. I would prefer, if Atlanta, to beat Frank, just continue to rotate here. Like, I see Pelican here. This is a pretty easy rush to force both Maywall and Ice Block here by just pushing this direction or forming a pincer here. I'm surprised that they didn't do this. Like, I would have expected a speed boost on Stalker or Lip or both, pushing Pelican while Donghak either forces the Ram out or clears and pincers the May here. Like, this is a free Ice Block right here. I don't understand why you would go for the Ram here when there's no real reason. Maybe the goal was to go for the BAP, but the BAP isn't here. So I'm confused. Again, a replay viewer moment, right? But I don't think it was for BAP. BAP is close here. Shu is close here, but Shu is behind the wall. So they kind of ignore May. So Pelican just gets this off angle for free. His wall isn't very good because it just misses Donghak. But yeah, it feels like missed opportunities for both teams, really, to force a cooldown or to win cooldown advantage. A missed wall, and honestly, just really not a great rollout from Atlanta. Looks like just a click here. Nothing super fancy. I think Happy's on our left flank here. He's going to get boosted and smoked by Stalker. Yeah, he's on the left there. He gets basically just headshot. So that's unfortunate. Early RNG headshot. Houston's backline on the high ground, and it just, I think that's just gonna be the fight win there. Hello, Stars. Doesn't Shu have an easy out to high ground? Does jump to? Yeah. Like Shu is not really pushable there. I mean, it's okay to like force up maybe a cooldown, make you get a shift there, but yeah, weird. And again, this is classic replay viewer moments where there is a chance that I might have missed something from the POV that I had because I can't really see very well. So I'm gonna state things like they're facts, but disclaimer: my analysis is not flawless, even if I had perfect information. But it's just the best I'm gonna be able to give you from somebody who's coached metas like this for many years. So kind of weird. I don't understand this at all, and this is like uncharacteristically Atlanta. You guys see the problem here, right? This is not a setup for stuffing the choke. Lucio is also wildly out of position right here, where Chio would realistically either be further forward aggressive to help stuff the choke if that was a play, or Chio is going to be on this floor here to provide speed boost for these guys, but we're already piecing out. Chio is on an off angle spamming down the choke like they're looking to kite back anyway, but Donghak and Stalker are clearly stuffing the choke. Like, you could even see they're committing shield here, they're committing E here. Like, it's a huge miscommunication here. Yo, Spilo, my day by day was good. Hey, Clups, thanks for the sub, mate. So what ends up happening is we get a massive Maywall on Ram. Atlanta is totally MIA here, and this is going to be either Donghak dying or, I mean, we see it, or early lamp, early everything. Uncharacteristically poor team play from Atlanta. Love you, be safe. Really poor team play. So complete miscommunication about whether we were stuffing or whether we're kiting back, because half of Atlanta is doing one, half of Atlanta is doing the other, and this puts them at a huge resource disadvantage, which is going to force an early ultimate for basically free. Not something that we're used to seeing from Atlanta, even in non-dive. Like, this is not good. So they're going to control white. They're going to actually send their Sojourn out to co-side with Lucio. This is something that we've been seeing a lot more of You guys remember when we were looking at the London setup? A lot of people are sending the Lucio with the Sojourn because they're not necessarily looking to go in aggressively immediately. They're looking to control an off angle. Putting your Lucio with your Sojourn allows her to play more confidently on the off angle and build up her rail faster. If she has to play super passively because every time she peeks she gets poked out and she's not getting healed, then she's going to take forever to build rail, not to mention doing no damage whatsoever. These guys are not really in a position to where they want to speed boost in and run over the Mei. In addition to that, there's not a lot of good spaces for Lucio to wall ride to boop the Mei in, so this makes the most sense for Violet's value. You build a lot. You like, for example, even the BAP window, right? Like, you're really just spamming here. You're not really pushing. So there's Ice Block, there's Shield, Dawnhack is out. Outlaws will get point control very, very quickly. Mei is really low. Off angle from Shu, and there's point flip right there. So really, really nice setup from Outlaws in terms of the neutral here. Shift is forced. I don't know what happened with Violet here. Maybe he got clicked. Kind of hard to see. Maybe a Sojourn shot. It does look like it was a Sojourn shot, so that's going to force a shift. There's the rotation. And see, this is what I wanted, right? This is what I wanted from Atlanta that I wasn't seeing earlier. They see Shu in the angle, and they're like, guys, let's push Shu in the angle. They push Shu in the angle, and they end up catching Happy. So Happy ends up having to... Actually, where the frick is Happy going? Oh, he shifts away. So yeah, so really Happy and Violet get a little bit over eager. They see shift, they blizzard into shift. Fearless gets caught in the crossfire and ends up getting killed. Blizzards are countered. Sojourn ult used. But really the neutral advantage from the early fight, huge Mei wall too. The early advantage from just Houston getting the point control and getting the off angle control just gives him an advantage. And Lip is unable to find anybody with his ult. Yeah, Houston just plays it better. Better setup. BAP window was better. Gave them a pretty big cooldown advantage at the start of that fight. Like it's really hard to see what Atlanta used, but we saw at least the Ice Block and Nemesis form and Shield. So a lot of cooldowns used from that BAP window.
Houston will get control of a point. They'll get close to tie the game up.
Violet credited with 3 final blows in that previous fight.
So this fight will be interesting. We'll probably see Atlanta probably try to kite an ultimate if they possibly can. Posture aggressively, try to kite out either Sojourn ult or Ramattra ult. It will probably be Sojourn ult because Ramattra ult takes a little bit more setup. Or they're just going to 3-2-1 speed in. They're 3-2-1ing in. I don't know, guys. Like, again, it's just not set up very well. You guys can kind of see the problem here. Like, this is the kind of these are the kind of details that Atlanta normally, even on brawl comps, does just so much better at. Like right now, look at the distance between this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. Now, the Mei needs to play careful because Mei doesn't really have an escape cooldown. And so if Fearless pops his Nemesis form, Stalker doesn't really want to immediately ice block. So I don't have a really problem with, but for example, just Fielder should be here, I think. I think Lip should also be peeking a little bit more aggressively because he has a shift, right? It just feels like the timing just isn't, just not quite there, right? Not quite my tempo, you know? Chio goes in really, really hard, and because Dawnhack goes in a little bit hard, maybe gets a little bit greedy, right? The block comes in a little bit late, but he's too far in. Fielder's not far in enough, and so then we don't have the lamp. We don't have the lamp. He loses speed. There's no value from Lip at the same time. And it's an understandable fight plan, but it's not. It's executed uncharacteristically poorly. Does get 2 for 1, so that's not all negative for Atlanta. Now again, you guys have to understand, I'm not expecting Atlanta's backline to end there because they also have to worry about Ram ult. What I am expecting them is to at least take a better sightline than that. Glad to hear that, Clairvoyant. Listen, health is overrated. Live young, die young. You know what I'm saying? But live. I would rather die at the age of 23, juiced up with muscles the size of like watermelons, depressed, but also like feared, than I would to be live like all these like these soy boy happy people, freaks. Okay, BAP window. A little bit of a weird kite from Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta scuffs. Or Houston, excuse me. Houston scuffs this one up. Houston gets a little bit sloppy. They don't get to cover fast enough. Happy slides into the open, and then Atlanta catches them with their pants down. So, I mean, even without Sojourn here, these guys are a little too far out in the open for my liking here. So, Yeah, I am cool. Thank you, guys. So this is like, they're going to just instantly melt Maywall. He dies. The lamp needs to be used. There's the lamp. He blocks. There's the Mayo. You see how, again, how passively they're playing around that Mayo? This is a really good fight from Atlanta. I'm so shocked that Donghak actually gets frozen. He gets scammed by this corner. Like, he gets, like, frozen around the corner. I obviously, again, no replay viewer, so I can't see. But that's kind of a scam. Atlanta does a really good job playing around that Mayo, and they just freaking win. So that was really nice. There's no May assist me? I swear he froze. Yeah, he froze. I mean, maybe he dies anyway, to be honest, because it got major zoning value, but yeah. That was the cleanest fight we've seen from Atlanta so far, by far. Okay, so let's talk about this next fight, because this one's a really interesting one for if you're a Houston fan. Because you're looking at this fight and you're like, holy crap, they have like 3 ultimates, we only have beat. There's a couple of ways to approach this fight. The first way to approach it is to do something similar to Atlanta was going, where you just kind of like 3-2-1, try to end and maybe one-shot a support. You can do that. You can try to Ajax Lucio. You can try to force BAP. And what you're expecting is you're expecting to lose, but you're expecting to lose 2 for 1, and then go into next fight theoretically close to BAP window and with a Ramo, and even ult fight. You got time to kill here. The other way to play it is to try to play a superior neutral where you just take better off angles, better space, and you're either ready to beat engage if they commit an ultimate or disengage with amp speed. The problem with taking a neutral like this is the fact that we've already saw that the keys to a good neutral a lot of the time are Lucio pairing with Sojourn. The problem with that when Lucio is beat is if you at any point in time want to beat engage, Lucio being with Sojourn is not always going to be the best thing because you want Lucio speed on these brawl characters. So I'm curious to see how Houston take this. I feel like they're definitely posturing for the speed aggression. So the question is it going to be on Fielder or is it going to be on Stalker or Chio? Because I'm thinking it could be on Fielder, but they might see Chio and be like, holy crap, this guy's feeding. Because if you guys, the thing with this composition is because there's so much like point and shoot heroes, like even these guys, right? You can actually kill Lucius pretty quickly. And the other thing too is the suck pulling him down to earth. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Chio's freaking dead. Oh my gosh, they went for it. They almost got it. They almost got it. There's shield, there's suck. They just barely missed the suck. They don't quite get out. There's amp. And there's wall. They don't quite get the wall. But honestly, it's not the end of the world. They do get some space. They almost got the kill. Pretty much a neutral cooldown trade. They push in. I mean, Houston just gets kind of smoked. Because Houston, you see the miscommunication here? Backline is trying to rotate with frontline. But then backline walks in and goes, oh crap, Mail. So then they try to amp out, but they don't get out in time. Good wall by Stalker. Well, okay, honestly, not a great wall with Stalker. Good intended wall by Stalker, but not executed well. Great flip there from Houston. Questionable beat for sure. I don't know that I would have committed beat here, but they commit beat and they go in. They're thinking we got to trade backlines. Fielder's isolated. Atlanta's not ready. Lip also pops his ultimate. And that's pretty darn good for Atlanta. Or Houston. That is like best case scenario if you're Houston. So Houston goes in hard once, goes in hard twice, and ends up getting 1, 2, 3 ultimates out of it. That was pretty good. That's pretty good. I think for Atlanta, maybe a little bit more patience and a little bit more caution. One of the things I've talked about in my channel is something called lose cons, which is like something that we used to talk about a lot in London, which is like, okay, we get a kill. Great job, guys. But let's not be stupid here. Let's not get sloppy here because they still have beat. They still have 4 people in cooldowns. They could just rush us down. So I'm curious to see what happened to Fielder. I don't know if he got shot by... He got shot by something. Maybe a headshot from Pelican? I think it's a headshot from Pelican. Watch his ultimate charge. Yeah, headshot by Pelican. And so then they go BAM! And that's going to kill Fielder, right? And then Lip doesn't trust the 4v4 or the 4v3 and also pops ultimate. I think their Fielder mispositions just a wee little bit. Isn't able to get out in time. And you can probably second guess Lip's use of the ultimate as well. But honestly, more well played by Houston than thrown by than Atlanta. You're gonna go fast heroes to make sure that they can touch, the TP to make sure that you get through the choke, because theoretically they could just wall them here and prevent them from touching. So they're gonna go Symmetra to TP past the choke if they need to. There it is. Tracer's gonna be able to touch. You see that? There's the rotation. And Houston's in a fairly decent, if they can stabilize here, they could win this fight. They explode. There's the ult. He's able to get on top of Lucio and Sojourn. That's really, really quite good. There's Ice Block. Lip is now stuck. Lip is being focused. Lip tries to juke, ends up dying for it. I mean, it's really, really simple. I think Atlanta needed to position themselves a little bit better. Okay, so a couple of things here. The bad. Atlanta, scouting Symmetra, needed to do a better job resetting up on high grounds and playing it nice and slow. They've got Ramel. No need to rush. We've got our BAP window. We got our own Ramel coming up. We have better poke range damage. Let's just retake the high grounds. Atlanta doesn't do that. They actually walk forward to stuff this choke here, right? And because of that, that gives Fearless way too much value from his Annihilation, which is executed excellently by all of Houston. The lamp is good. The lamp is good. The ult is good. Fearless's target priority is good. I mean, Houston just completely outplays Atlanta with this push. Atlanta really does not position themselves for success. So I'm not pleased. I think this is going to be here. I'm not really pleased with Atlanta's positioning in these fights. The old economy to an extent, I think Houston's kind of forcing their hand. But Houston deserved that one. Houston played it better. And I think while Atlanta definitely fumbled the bag at times, Houston has also just played the trade really freaking well. I played it really well. That last fight was like super clean. The Symmetra TP out to spawn and then immediately forcing the like it's really good. And the fight before as well, giving that like the old economy being down that far, that kind of like level of team play from Houston is really impressive. Is Fielder playing that top ledge above point worth it? Yes, actually that would be a fine position to play for that last fight. That would have been a fine position to play for that last fight, right above point. So what Ice-T is asking is, would it have been okay for Fielder to position up here? And I think yes. He just shouldn't drop. I mean, honestly, him dropping isn't even the problem. The problem is actually not Fielder's positioning, to be honest. It's more Lip's positioning. Like, Lip walks into it, right? He actually slides into it. And that's a disaster. Because Lip very easily could have slid back out this way, taken the angle here, and just chilled. And this fight becomes infinitely harder. And then we could have just pocketed Stalker. We could have pocketed Donghack. So I don't think it was necessarily Fielder's positioning there. What I told Houston that we have Rom. You're just the funniest guy. Yeah, the problem wasn't with Fielder that fight, I don't think. I think holding that high ground there, really fine. Okay, cool comp from Atlanta. We're gonna cheese this one up. Makes sense to me. You have the players for it. Stalker's obviously more of a traditional flex DPS player, to my knowledge, so I'm sure that his Pharah is fine. Fielder is great. Chio, I assume, has a solid Mercy. Donghack is obviously a great ball. Yeah, this is fine. Yo, Young Humble, thanks for the sub, mate. So they get the TP off, which is, you know, the moment of danger, right? So it's all going to be this. Here's what it's going to be about. It's going to be about really a 2 or 3 pronged approach. Ball from one side, Pharah from the other side. Sombra either on the same side with Pharah or Ball, or even all the way in the very far backline. And then Fielder can either position from main and then look to like bait TP and hide, or Fielder can just freaking go YOLO mode and take an off angle and look for the nade on this flank here. I think I'm fine with either. Depends on the circumstance. There's a slam. The follow-up isn't quite there. I don't know where Lip is, but Lip is not really involved in this fight. Lip might also be taking the main angle. And then this is the new Mei slow, ladies and gentlemen, where the grapple isn't great. The slam isn't great. I think Donghack should have kited back out this direction instead of trying to go through the middle of the enemy team. If he disengaged this way, he's able to break LOS of point and get healing from his Ana. But he also doesn't get anything going this way, right? It just means he's not doing any damage. He's not even in fireball form. So he just takes an unnecessary amount of time to roll out and ends up dying for it. Again, new Mei slow as well, worth pointing out. I don't even know where Lip is right now. That's definitely worth pointing out too. I think Lip is with or Pharah maybe. Miraculously, he's able to get to a point where he gets the Mercy res though, so that's huge. Pharah rotating gets the direct on Lucio. Fielder rotates back to main. I still don't know where Lip is. I think Lip is off-angling from to our right here. They look for the TP play on the backline, but it gets hit too hard, and Fielder jukes it. I swear, it was a match earlier where they did this earlier, and Fielder also juked it as well. I think Fielder's really good at playing Ring Around the Rosie when people are chasing him, like wastes a lot of time. Again, Donghack dies. So slam, roll, shoot. He sees Lamp. He shoots too long, gets slowed by symmetric turrets, gets pinned, and dies. So good play by Fearless there. Stalker gets a little bit too close. Lip just freaking dies. Not impressed by Houston's execution in any way, shape, or form here. Stalker goofs up there at the end. Lip dies unnecessarily. Donghack dies twice in a row to his own mistake. And it was hard to say from Fielder's point of view if they made any mistakes, but you know, I didn't see any huge anti-nades. Okay, he just dies. Happy should die here. Happy walls. Okay, Donghack just needs to play his life. That's huge getting Simwall out. Fearless goes Monkey to spawn back in. He's going to drop mines in point here. Here comes the mines. Drops it, gets a big slam, but he gets windowed on the flank. I mean, Houston is doing such a good job. Look at what Houston is doing here. Houston is like playing, like, again, how do you play this matchup? The average answer is, guys, you turtle on point and you just survive. But that doesn't work. You gotta do, you guys see the video I did on YouTube a little bit ago called the subtle self-plug here, called the jab? This is exactly what Houston is doing. Now, I don't know if they're doing it exactly on purpose, because they have people that are dead coming back from spawn, but they're not throwing powwows on point. They're moving, right? They're moving, right? So they don't want to get off angle on point, so look what happens. Bap takes an angle, they TP out, Shu walks off of point, Symmetra TPs off of point, and they actually set up an angle to shoot on point. The freaking Brawl composition set up an angle to shoot on point. And there you go, right? So then Donghack thinks he's slamming people. He slams nothing, he mines nothing, and gets pincered from the outside. Bam. There it is. You see it? You see it? You got two people on point. The tables have turned. The turns have tabled. And really just a phenomenal execution by Houston. Like the amount of like heads up play to be able to do that in the moment is actually crazy. They just completely juke both. And the really important thing is that Barrage, okay, they're on Monkey now, but when they're on Ball, Barrage and Mines are your two most important ultimates in this matchup. If you're running Monkey, Nano is more important than I would say Mines. And they just completely denied both of them. And they had to use their ultimates too. But guys, if you're trading 2 for 2 versus this composition with ultimates with this, you love to see it. You love to see it. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Again, it's always a nuanced answer. Houston are playing this well. Atlanta, honestly, it's just not looking that good. Donghack is kind of fumbling the bag a little bit here, and Stalker's not exactly going crazy at the moment. Doesn't mean that they're not good in those heroes. Just means right now it's just not looking super smooth. However, you got to give credit where credit is due. Houston is doing really well. And this is going to be a really ugly swap from Atlanta. It's because Valk is used. They're trying to stop the bleeding. But maybe Chio swaps here? Yeah, see, this is it. This is back to go back. Return to Monkey. Go back. Return to Monkey. That's basically what we got here. And it's not a bad fight plan because obviously comfort heroes. Obviously Monkey swap, which gives something like the Brig more identity. And also EMP. EMP is the real what is the term? The equalizer, right? Where you can beat this comp given this. So what I'm expecting from Houston here, I'm expecting some shenanigans. I'm expecting some shenanigans from Houston here. You look at this fight, you're like, guys, we're probably gonna swap a couple of heroes if we lose this fight anyway. So let's set up a sim flank. Let's get a Russian TP male on their back line. Maybe Bap, hides up here, 3-2-1. Like you're gonna swap at least 2 heroes, if probably 3 heroes if the fight loses. Honestly, you really want to swap the Lucio too if you need to. So really, like you got nothing to lose this fight. So and you have a real chance to win it too. So let's see what happens.
If you're going to play Winston, so are we. We're going to revert to something approximating the mirror. But it looks like Houston will still have the...
So Houston's not doing anything super crazy with setup. Let's see what they do with execution.
I guess, Sombra Tracer.
And you don't exactly have the most optimal backline here for the Houston.
Oh, they're playing just, okay, so they're playing the hyper defensive option. TP, Sem, May spy check with Lucio. So Lucio May on the flank. Bap isolated here.
The speed boost here.
Ah, shoot, what a bad man! Woo!
Exactly have the most optimal back.
He knows too, because he goes, I'm priority number one, right? Lucio May on the flank, you know, and look at this.
Line here for the Houston Outlaws, right? Like the speed boost here.
Look at that, look at that.
You know,
And that's huge.
Something you're gonna get a ton of value out of. As Shu has to use his regenerative burst.
Look, oh, he almost survives it too.
Backline here for the Houston Outlaws, right? Like the speed boost here, you know, not exactly.
See, what I would have done here is shoot egos just a teeny bit. But man, if he gets out there just a little bit faster. Okay, so the thing, oh, they also had nano. Somehow, I forgot they had nano. Honestly, though, not the end of the world for Houston. It definitely forces Atlanta's hand a little early. Causes a little bit of chaos. It's not the end of the world. I don't like Fearless peeling back here. I think Fearless trading backlines with the May ult that's happening off screen would have been a little bit better. I don't know where the May ult goes. I think it might have tried to use it on the monkey.
Something you're gonna get a ton of value out of.
Maybe? Because if monkey... Yeah, I don't know where the May ult goes, to be honest. Pelican might have just zoned it. He might have whiffed it, to be honest. The good news is that even though as things are kind of messy, things are kind of drawing out a little bit. We'll be able to get 85% probably. Maybe more. Yeah, so not amazingly executed by Houston. Now, here's the real question. What the frick do you do if you're Houston here? Like, this is the problem. Like, when you play it too... Okay, yeah, they swap. I was going to say, because you got Beat, and you almost have Semwall, and you have Primal. Like, Pelican definitely swaps here, but... I don't know. That's unfortunate. Lucio probably stays.
And they don't have to use EMP, which is obviously huge,
okay.
But the Outlaws, it feels like the damage is...
So Atlanta, all about probably one-shotting a support. For Houston, I think you're going to be playing more rat style, where similar to last fight, you're probably trying to mark DPS, find DPS if you can find Lips Translocator, maybe Hack Stalker. It's going to be a good way to play this fight. The problem with Lucio is that it's really easy to kill this backline with EMP. It's why people don't play Lucio dive. It's not just the Brig denies the monkey, but it's also like really easy. So Atlanta...
It's like they're just maybe trying to bait Shu a little bit here.
Look at that. Look at that. Whoa. Check this out, chat.
You're not going at 89, so you're not going to have to switch your...
Pelican, Lip runs into Pelican. Pelican almost finds him. Look at the bullets, guys. Look at the bullets. Oh my gosh. What? How is this man doing this? This is literally like a Mission Impossible movie. Look at the bullets. They're literally forming a silhouette around Lip. Look at this.
It's like they're just maybe trying to bait.
There's no way, man. There's no way. There's no way he dodges that.
Seems like they have an idea where Lip is as well.
And see, that's so corny. Okay, so basically,
seems like they have an idea.
Atlanta takes advantage of that because they're trying to play so corny that they don't give them a fat EMP that they accidentally isolate Shu, which is understandable. It looks like Houston's just trying to go in hard. And maybe Beat engage. We'll probably see a Beat here very soon. Yeah, see, they just go in hard. They say, screw it, leave her Ana. We don't care about her. She's ugly anyway and old. She's got no friends. She's like the female Mike Ehrmantraut or whatever the frick that guy is. And then we're just gonna go in. We're just gonna go in, right? And then Fielder should probably die after this. Yes, Fielder dies after this. Kind of strange that Chio dies so easily, considering the fact that Pelican is actually on the backline here. I want to know what the heck Fearless did. Shu hits a big nade. Maybe that's it. But that's an uncharacteristically easy peel or lack of peel from the Atlanta Reign backline. And I think we're going to give Shu's nade credit there. But yeah, this is huge. Like really, Houston just totally disrespects the dive. I mean, this is definitely showing a pattern so far, where Houston, outside of last fight, when they have these weird ult games, they don't play patty cake with you, right? They will hit you in the mouth. They're not going to sit here and play games with you. They're going to hit you in the mouth. You guys saw it on the previous Brawl map. I'm curious to see if we'll see that continuing moving forward. Still, games being played. Sombra gets touch. Tracer isolated. Oh, Shu, Sleep Stalker. Again, you see Houston? They're not playing games, guys. You got EMP? Screw you. We're Beat engaging. And it's so much more viable in Overwatch 2 than it was in Overwatch 1. Backline gets hacked. Will they get the kill? Backline is just... Oh, they almost peel it out. They almost peel it out. They get the hack on Brig. Violet gets a little bit of damage in there, and it's just barely enough. Dong hack does peel. They do get the solo kill on Shu. Stalker, smart guy, does not recall. Preserves his recall. Will Violet be able to get out? He'll be able to get out. But really, Atlanta's able to peel it off the backline. They're able to trade backlines. And that's just where Lucy just isn't that good. Like, I don't think you can look at this and be like, oh yeah, like Houston fumbled the back here. I think Houston played it okay. It just didn't work. Also worth noting that Lip does indeed EMP. I think Fearless? Yeah, EMP's Fearless just to guarantee the fight win. So, not the end of the world. Violet can swap Brig now. Houston can enter this fight at an ultimate disadvantage. Credit to both teams. This was really tight. Yeah, like I said, Houston is just disrespect. They don't want to play those games with Atlanta. We'll see to swap the Brig here. Alright, so EMP, rally. You see, this is the hard part about Atlanta Reign. Alright guys, what you guys tell me, what's the solution when the backline has like nano rally and you have EMP, right? What's the solution? What is the solution used elsewhere in the league? You guys tell me. You guys have watched enough of this stupid composition to know. I think it's 40% of... I don't know. It's a good question. Oh. Oh, I'm on the epic pen here. Go first. Hit an anti-EMP hard dive. Sometimes. A lot of the times... Right. A lot of the times, it's actually you EMP the front line. Yeah. You EMP the front line. You hit Tracer or Winston, sometimes Sombra, and you just one-shot them. Because the rally doesn't help them that much, and it takes like a frame-perfect nano. Alright? The problem with that, though, is because these nerds are really freaking good at dodging EMP. We've seen it every time this season, right? With these frontline EMPs, Atlanta Reign's frontline is like instantly, like it's not just EMPs, they almost never get manually hacked. So the solution here is, just EMP Stalker or Dong Hack and just freaking kill them and then you just win. But it's Atlanta. Like, it's so hard because these guys are so many times we've seen Dong Hack jump straight up in the air and dodge an EMP or live long enough to get nano, right? So I'm curious to see what Houston does. They also have the Pulse Bomb, which opens up options too. But this is the kind of cringe that we're used to seeing here. What I would like to see Houston do is do what Atlanta does and be like, all right, you got to play like Cringe Lords. We're going to manually hack Dong Hack and force him out because he's not getting healing. Or we're going to manually hack Stalker, force his recall, get him out. Play the neutral game. If the backline plays cringe like this, okay, we win the neutral game. We don't try to EMP frontline, we just play the neutral game better. Because you see how isolated Dong Hack is right here. This is very punishable here. Pelican kind of meandering around here. I don't know what's going on. Like, that translocator placement is not good. Not good. So you can kind of see Houston here is doing a little bit of what I talked about, where they are kind of just trading neutrally. The nano on Pelican is kind of weird. They do force the... Oh my gosh, this is actually crazy from both sides. They nano the Tracer, which is weird. I don't know if it was a missed nano or if it was on purpose or what, but okay. So then they respond with Rally. Sombra's pressuring point, getting mirrored by Tracer. Okay. He pulses, gets nanoed. Chio lives. They go to point immediately. Flip is made. Now, this is the moment of truth right now. One of two things are going to happen. Atlanta Reign's frontline's going to get EMP'd and annihilated. Or Shu and Violet are going to die. One of those two things are going to happen in the next 5 seconds, if not sooner. 3, 2, 1. There it is. So one thing happened before the other. Winston is now isolated. The EMP actually is only hit onto the Winston. They're not able to quite get the kill in the back line. And if Fearless doesn't have EMP or Primal in time. Pelican gets slept. Huge play. That's going to force Translocator out. Lip gets forced out. That's huge too. They push on the Chio. Chio's naded. Oh no, Chio is not naded.
Heal him back up.
Fielder hacked.
He's hacked from that.
He's defensively naded, and Pelican dies.
Point shield bash from Chio, and there it is. The bio comes up and just
Huge peel from Fielder here. Classic peel. Sleep is huge on a Stalker. Rally is there. The EMP is also there. Will they be able to peel off? They're on it. If they do, I think they win. Shu needs to get off of point. He doesn't get off of point. Fearless Primal, winnable. Yes, there it is. Wow. Really, really, honestly, you gotta give credit. I think Pelican goofed a little bit there, here and there, but pretty high level play. I think I'm a lot more impressed with the level of play, obviously what's happening on Dive, than I was in Brawl. But Houston, you know, I mean, gosh, guys, Atlanta just doesn't give you anything. The thing with Atlanta is they just, at least on Dive, they at least so far, maybe, I mean, they lose the match, so something's got to happen here. But Atlanta gives you nothing for free. Absolutely nothing. Not a single fight do they go, oh, somebody goofed up, or, you know, they just don't give you anything for free. You have to sweat your butt cheeks off for every fight. I mean, how many times did we say, oh, Houston did that one pretty well, but somehow Atlanta still wins? You know? That's actually insane. That's actually insane. Okay, so, it's just like their ability to like maintain their focus in these circumstances is unreal. Okay, so Echo here, high ground, verticality. Echo is good. We don't have to really overthink the Sombra versus Echo. It's a player strength thing. It's a verticality of the map thing. It doesn't change a ton how you play. It does shift your target focus a little bit. You have fewer options to hard dive backline unless they walk in your Echo kill box. You have fewer options to kill Tracer, but you have a lot more options of just like burning the enemy monkey. So Echo is more of a situational pick where she could do a lot of work on backline, a lot of work on frontline, but not a lot of work on sideline, right? She's not somebody that can go off by herself like a Sombra can. And because of that, she's a little bit more, you have to set her up. You know, she can't go off and set up her own flanks, her own angles. She kind of has to be set up. Okay. Oh, whoops, I'm muted here. Sombra goes in deep. There's the hack on Echo. You see it? You see it? I guarantee you Fielder there throws a nade too. Let's see if he does. Maybe not. I don't see it. There's the manual hack. It's really important that Pelican shifts every hack. Every hack. If he doesn't shift one hack, he dies. Every time. The crazy thing to me is that the timing of this is so crucial that even though Pelican shifts it, he almost dies. And the reason why that's important is because Pelican can immediately punish back and basically annihilate Donghack, force a bubble. But he doesn't do that because even though he doesn't die, he gets super low. So there's no punish really on this. Now, why does Happy's Translocator get forced or recall? So you see, okay, so why is Happy positioned here, guys? You guys tell me. I don't know if this is on purpose. I suspect it is. Think about it for a second. I'm gonna spoon feed you the answer in about 2 seconds. You know what the Sombra's gonna do, right? Right, deny hack, right. Deny hack, peel, right? Not specifically on the monkey, but on the Sombra, force the Sombra. So Happy actually reacts really slow. And the problem is it's actually, instead of forcing the Sombra Translocator, the recall gets forced. That's really bad for Houston. And I will also say as well, I don't know how I feel about Shu's position. I mean, I think Shu's positioning is okay. It's just tough because Pelican, I mean, honestly, Pelican, maybe it's Pelican's positioning here that's not super good, but he doesn't have really great LOS of his supports. Shu also can't shoot Lip very well. Shu can't shoot Donghack. Shu can't shoot Stalker. It's a really good dive by Atlanta. Forces the Echo out. Forces the recall. They get Bubble out. I don't even know why Fearless Bubble's here. Yeah, he's trying to control backline, but the Bubble doesn't really do anything to do that. Donghack doesn't even use his nade or his bubble, but yeah, I mean, okay, and that's scary. Kind of an early jump there. Gets the Sombra in, gets the Tracer in. Bubbles traded, big stickies. And now Sombra Tracer trying to work their magic on the flank. Atlanta slowly wiggling their way out of the choke with cycles of pressure onto the backline. Notice that they're now going for the backline now instead of the Echo, because the Echo has now gotten bullied back into the backline. What I would like from Pelican is a little more guts, all right? I want Pelican playing, if possible, as long as Happy is marking Sombra. I don't want to see Pelican here. I want to see Pelican here. I want to see Pelican playing around Fire Engine to where when the Winston jumps in, he's not at concern. You see, the problem with this positioning here is, first off, there's no threat of Sombra hack anymore because Happy has cleared Sombra. But also, this Winston is going to force Pelican on the back foot. Pelican should be smoking a doobie. Pelican should be sitting in the back porch with iced tea, relaxing, burning monkeys alive. Statement makes really no sense, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? So what ends up happening is Pelican actually gets forced back, but why? Like, he shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be there. He doesn't need to worry about being isolated anymore. The nade misses. That's a little bit unfortunate. Bubbles traded. But again, the problem is that, again, Houston's support line and Echo, they're backs to the wall. Continually backs to the wall. Pelican tries to take an off angle. Gets poked out. Shu doesn't rotate here. Chat, where should Shu be right now? No, I think Shu is fine here. But, okay, I literally released a video on this today. Dynamic positioning, right? Shu starts here, but as Atlanta starts to wiggle their way from here to here to here, their flankers have now established pressure here. Shu can no longer stay here. You need to rotate away. You need to rotate backside of point. You've not earned this position anymore. You earned it at the start. You lost it because Atlanta they took space better than you. They cycled their cooldowns better than you. You have to give it up. This is why, okay, you guys can apply this in your own games. This is why I'm sweating like a pig. This is why you can't watch, streamers and copy their positions. Not only because the game is different at that level in terms of the positioning and the logic behind it, but you can't just memorize a set list of positions on a notepad and follow it, because this position from Shu is really good until it's not. It depends on where the enemy team is, and Shu way overstays his welcome. It's also a little bit unfortunate here that the nade misses, so they miss their spike in value. And then Violet ends up rotating away because his Echo gets forced at the same time. But by doing that, he's exposed himself to getting dove, and the nade hits. And that's it. Shu gets, like, absolutely rolled. I'm telling you, Atlanta does not mess up. They are patient. They are slow. They will choke you out. If you do not get opportunities to poke them out and control space back, if you do not rotate with what's given, you will lose. Atlanta does everything better there. The timing of their dives is better. They hit more cooldowns, whether it was hack or nade. They were able to clear space better. They rotated better. Everything from Atlanta there was better.
Lip sets up a translocator that cannot be destroyed. Or very, very hard to do so if you can even find it. Happy placed forward early on here. Maybe you might see like an early opportunity for a pulse.
Early pressure from Houston. Pelican does go Sombra. More open space. It's a shame the Echo flopped, but yeah. Trying to force Fearless out. Solo EMP on the Tracer. Chat, why does Lip EMP Happy? Why is he EMP Happy? All right, where's Houston's backline? You say pulse, and that's definitely a factor, but backline's not accessible. They're too far away. They're on the. I mean, look at this, right? Too far away. Too hard. Just take what's given to you. And the difference between Atlanta and Houston is Atlanta doesn't get EMP'd. They recall or they blink. Happy gets distracted. They start to put a little bit of pressure on him. He starts to kind of panic, gets EMP'd dice. There you go. You take it.
Getting the EMP and just getting one kill off of that.
Oh no! Nano is lost.
Even just getting the EMP and just getting one kill off of that, right? Especially it being the Tracer.
I honestly don't know why they even used Nano there, to be honest with you. I think given the Houston situation, considering they're down one, it would have been far, far better to just back up, try to hold the high ground and use nano on like your brig if you get pushed. This makes no sense. There's no follow. There's zero chance that this gets a kill unless they land an anti-nade, which they don't. So I don't understand. Right? Like, obviously they lose the nano, but it doesn't matter. It was a stupid nano anyway. If you have positioning and you lose one, you can use your ultimates to hold the positioning that tries to get pushed. Going in after you've already lost your most important follow-up is just hubris. It's a stupid decision from Houston.
The tracer, it just seems like the large source of the damage. Things just kind of fall apart after that. You were wondering how the Atlanta Reign were going to bounce back.
Is it worth it to stall cart with nano and primal? No, it's not worth it. Because what are you going to do? You're going to use 2 of your most valuable ultimates for stall of time? That's no good, right? That's no good.
Here this far on Midtown.
And with sleep and hack, nano and primal, like, it's way too easy to shut those things down.
This is where Atlanta's so
do I think Checkmate is a top 3, top 5 tracer? Not top 3, no. Maybe top 5? I don't know. I feel like it's having not studied enough POVs, I have to kind of give the safe answer and say I would say he's an A tier tracer in the top 5 or 6, but I would not say top 3. I don't think he's earned that position just yet from just a gut check. Okay, well, Houston has an interesting setup here. They're trying to ego their brig value here, trying to maybe soft clear high ground here, trying to find a way, can we get EMP value? They force Sombra out. Now, Atlanta is in zero rush whatsoever. We know that you have EMP. We have nano, we have primal. We can basically, we could just basically take it as we want. So they're gonna go in with primal, looks like. Solo EMP on brig. This guy is just disgusting. Look at this, guys. Look at this. This is what makes Atlanta great, right here. Ana dodges EMP, primal on backline to prevent follow-up.
No big deal in the end.
Chio immediately tucks behind corner, survives, rallies, gets pulsed, then nanoed, and lives. That's going to force a primal in response. He nades, crucially, I don't know if he meant to do this, but crucially he nades Pelican, which is going to force Pelican out in just a moment. There he is. So now backline lives. Why that hack from Lip on Shu?
So now once again, Lip is on a mission.
Might have just been a scouting hack, to be honest with you. It might have been also that Lip was looking to set back up on Shu later and wanted the damage boost for a brief moment. He might not have meant to get scouted out. I do agree that that was a bit of a mistake.
No big deal.
But yeah, no mistakes. If you guys want to know what teams are doing well in this meta right now, you need to look at Sombra and you need to look at backline. Before you look at Winston, before you look at Tracer, you need to look at Sombra and you need to look at backline. And if you look at Tracers, you should be focusing as much as you possibly can on whether their pulse bombs stick great, because it's just a free fight win in this meta. That's really a free fight win anyway. But the teams that are struggling in dive are the backlines that aren't doing things like this. Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's 2 for 2, 3 for 2.
And we're back on if you're an Atlanta Reign fan.
And all they have to do now is burn Fearless, which it will happen. Violet pops Rally way too late. Way too late from Violet. It's actually crazy. Wait. No way. No way. Oh, his primal expires at the worst time and he gets hacked. Oh my gosh. This is like both a really lucky and really great play from Houston. Check the sleep dart here. Sleep at the end of primal. Then hack right as his HP expires. He has bubble, but he can't get it off. Violet's rally is late, but it's going to be the difference maker in terms of them being able to win this fight. But honestly, holy crap. Had nothing to do with a later rally. I hate when people say that, with all due respect to Uber. We're going to do, oh, I'm going to rally second. I'm going to let them EMP value. Makes no sense. Yeah, so anyway, regardless, we're going to this fight with EMP. Phenomenal little clutch there at the end from Houston. The other difference maker, I think, as well, very quietly, is Stalker pulse bombs. Stalker's pulse bomb does not hit. That's the difference in this fight, really. Whereas Happy's pulse hits, because that's what forces the nano. You guys got me? So as crazy as that peel was from Atlanta, one pulse bomb hits and forces an ultimate, one pulse bomb does not hit. And then obviously the huge sleep dart, huge hack, and so on. I mean, a guy can miss a pulse bomb where he's allowed to, but yeah. Alright, going to this fight with EMP. Really, you're flexible with whoever you want to EMP here. You can EMP backline. Backline is playing very far. There's the Tracer. I mean, this is the difference, guys. This is the difference. You guys, we talked about this literally months ago. This is the difference. Bam. And that's it. That's it. You cannot let that cannot happen in the Overwatch League. I'm not saying that you don't belong in the Overwatch League if that happens, because it happens to a lot of people. But if you want to know what wins fights and what loses fights, it's that right there.
That might be a big difference maker in a series where these two teams, pound for pound, are pretty
Lip, SMGing, just Soldier 76ing.
Could be a pretty good time though, Mitch. I mean,
Donghack trying to clear out the Sombra, kind of goofs up a little bit, but they do force Fearless out, so that's nice.
From the Houston Outlaws, and you see they just kind of get pushed off.
EMP ready and go. So they're gonna have basically what Atlanta's gonna do is Lip, Stalker, Donghack, basically trying to prevent the divers from taking space. Chio and Fielder need to survive this dive with whatever.
Around this second corner.
There's the manual hack, and see, you guys see this, like they're putting pressure early. They get the manual hack, the Tracer goes in the flank. If they try to EMP now, there's going to be at least 2 or 3 people that are not going to be involved in the EMP at all. Put Fearless on the back foot. Lots. I mean, look at Lip, guys. 70%, 71%. Look at this EMP charge, guys. Look at this EMP charge. Just shooting. Just shooting. I'm telling you guys, Lip is just, he just knows the situation. You guys remember when I was coaching or spectating the World Cup? For America, the internal scrims, and I broke down all the separate play styles of Sombra, like the different plays that you can go for. He always knows what the right play to go for. Right now, he can build EMP. He needs to keep frontline pressure, so he shoots Monkey. Now, another option here would be to hunt Translocator. Another option here would be to focus on the Tracer. I think any of these plays would work. Given the fact that Fearless is playing more in the open, it makes more sense to shoot Monkey. No, it's on Spilo 1. Team USA stuff. Chio gets a little bit griefy here. I think Chio gets greedy because he's like, he just gets too split, right? Like he doesn't hit the whip. Oh, he doesn't hit the whip. Yeah, you see right there? There's their cue. He misses the whip. Rare Chio L. Rare Chio L. Huh.
Really sealing the deal. So Houston there may be feigning that they were backing up, retreating, and then they dive straight on in as the whip shot had already gotten used.
Clears the Sombra. Pulse bomb misses from Stalker. Where does he try to pulse? Oh, he sticks to Violet's shield, I think. Or maybe near Violet, I'm not sure. But Violet's shield breaks, whatever happens.
Full team wipe off of this, right? So you can come back here. I mean, this is going to be the EMP for it.
Ah! What's the issue here, chat?
You don't get a well, Cart's still inching around the corner, but it's really just the last vestiges of Atlanta Reign.
You don't get a full team wipe off of this, right? So you can come back here. I mean, this is going to be the EMP for Atlanta. Is full team wipe off of this, right? So you can come back here. I mean, this is going to.
I just don't think the follow-up is there. Yeah, I think it was a little bit too fast. I mean, Stalker's not even on our screen, right? So Lip is very reliant off of Stalker to get these EMP value, and to give credit to Happy, look at what Happy does. Right as the EMP hits, it's a little bit telegraphed. He gets scouted as well. You see this? And so then look at what Happy does. Blinks out, right? And so then that's just the amount of HP that he needs to survive. So Lip gets a little bit sloppy. Lip is indeed on fraud watch. Hate this guy. Literally the worst Sombra in the league, easily.
But that EMP actually goes for another. For a second there, I thought you could use that EMP, maybe use your own
Nano Monkey.
And go in there and make a play.
I don't know. I don't know.
But that EMP actually goes for
I don't know where the Sombra is here. Lip is setting up. Yeah, see, another rare Atlanta L. So you're gonna see Lip goes in front. Basically, it doesn't stage very well. or can't stage well, gets spy checked, gets forced out, and then they dive in with a Nano Monkey. So then because Lip isn't there, and because Donghack goes in a little bit early, he's going to get slept. He's going to be put out of commission. There's going to be no follow-up. So a little bit of a goof up from Houston, or from Atlanta. Even though they do get some value, they get some space out of it. It's not very well executed by Atlanta. So Atlanta making some miscues with their teamwork here. Deep dive with Winston. They'll probably take this opportunity to force Pelican out. They do force Pelican out. Here comes the Primal. They're trying to trade the Monkey while their Monkey is zoning backline. Lip gets forced out again. Lip has been getting forced out a lot, very easily here. So you see Lip here. He gets a little too close, pushes around the corner, and that's going to force his Translocator, I think, because he's inside bubble. Yeah, so he's inside bubble and he gets forced out, right? I don't know where he is. And yeah, he's over there to our right.
On the advanced players of the Atlanta Reign, Donghack's playing safe for now. The Outlaws just don't want to get baited into anything.
Pulse misses. It's a good try.
Safe for now. The Outlaws just don't want to get baited into anything.
Nade is used, hits Shu, Primal, and there you go. Does Pelican get hacked or does he lose Translocator? I'm not sure. Maybe losing, probably loses Translocator.
But now they're actually just getting pushed back deep into their spawn. But
here's the Primal Fearless. Might die. Might die. Lip.
Coming out of the spawn as well.
Nice look decent from Houston. They made up some serious time here in the last couple of fights, but Atlanta...
So now Atlanta just chills frontline EMP, kill whatever touches. Happy is low. They're going to force Pelican out first. They do. They actually don't force Pelican out. Stalker needs to get healing. He does get healing. Did somebody from Atlanta die? Why are we giving up so much space here? What is going on? I am very lost as to what's happening. Fielder is playing so safe. They must be scouting or expecting EMP, but because they're playing so passive, they end up losing a lot of space really quickly. So Atlanta ends up having to peace out. Maybe frontline EMP here. He does. What? It's not a good EMP. Almost dodged. Should have gotten nanoed. I think Fearless LOS is his own Ana. I really do.
She's gonna be basically on a Fearless. Oh, they blow him up. That's a huge kill.
He got LOS'd. Yeah, he LOS'd by his own Ana. And the other thing too, to bad news for Houston, is Pelican gets a counter EMP and it's fat. But again, this is the difference, right? Where's the follow-up on the Lip? This is just Pelican damage. I don't know where Happy is. I don't know where the rest, but there's no follow-up. Look at the 7 HP. Happy could have sneezed at him and he would have died. The EMP from Pelican is actually pretty good. But it's just... And by the way, I also noticed that Chio is immediately popping Rally as soon as Pelican drops out of... comes out. Might have been out of nano range, that's true as well. Shu is shooting Stalker instead of Lip. Nice catch. Yeah. I mean, that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's the difference here.
Basically on a Fearless, oh, they blow him up. That's a huge
and that's it. Theoretically, could just see a cap here. Depends on if we get a... Ah, that's a little...
Can we Violet get in the nano boost here? And so we have both layered into this fight.
That's a huge kill.
Yeah, Pelican finds nothing for his feeling.
Interesting, guys. Okay, this keeps happening. This keeps happening. So they don't get a lot out of the rally.
That's a huge kill.
So Chio rallies, but they don't get a lot of cooldowns advantage out of the rally. They counter with rally, and then they nano the rally. This is kind of silly from Houston, honestly. I don't mind the nano rally, just like in this position here, any reasonable person looking at the situation right here would think that Atlanta kites it out. Donghack just kites out really late. So really poor play from Donghack. Chio is gonna get nano. and that's fine, but Donghak should not die here. Donghak dives out and bubbles way too late. So rare miscue. Stalker goes for Pulse. I think he gets stunned. Yeah, he walks into an AoE stun, misses Pulse Bomb, and then dies. So really, really rare miscues from the front line from Atlanta. And that's it.
And Happy provides Geo his force right on back. He got the nano as well. Atlanta right now starting to run short on time.
I think Stalker's on... I don't think Stalker's hit a Pulse Bomb yet.
When they have the nano in rally, with how strong
You know why Shu nanoed?
it can be during rally now.
He was naded, didn't want to die with nano, so he used it immediately and violent. I get that, but I don't think Shu is in any danger of dying. Watch. Maybe he would panic, but I think there was no real threat for him at that point in time. But yeah, I see what you're saying. It could be right.
Although Atlanta tried it themselves,
so yeah, Stalkers have not hit a Pulse Bomb yet. Some miscues from Donghak here. I mean, this is a really hard point to cap, to be fair.
Yeah, time is money, and that account for the Atlanta Reign is getting dry. Lip, though, and Pelican building those EMPs very quickly, albeit in step with one another. Happy's possible, the only real ultimate on the field is
Marking on the angle forces Stalker out. It looks like both Sombras are kind of just 76ing on the front line, just shooting.
In step with one another. Happy's possible, the only real ultimate on the field as we speak.
Forces Tracer out. Atlanta just kind of runs it down.
Make it harder for the Atlanta Reigns Tracer to have.
Are we going to see a frontline Pulse Bomb? Forces Lip out. Huge. Recall is used, though. Lip is farming the EMP, as is Pelican. Notice that both Sombras just kind of frontlining for each other. They're both trying to farm that EMP, right? So EMP coming up soon. That's it, guys. That's it. That's what Houston needed. That's what Houston needed. Right there. Is it a little bit silly from Lip? Yeah, Pelican is like totally focused on him, so it's a little bit disrespectful to not expect him to react, whereas the happy one, at least he was distracted. But that's it. Disaster.
Trying to find an angle here. That doesn't get anything.
He tried. I'm telling you guys, this is it.
Nobody by that.
Now, will it happen in response?
Uncharacteristic miss from Lip, and now Pelican's got one of his own.
Man, come on. These guys are crazy. Come on. I mean, give credit to Donghak here. Check this out.
Nobody hit by that.
Look at that. As soon as he hears the decloak, he is out. And that's it. Look at that. Chio dodges Pulse. There's the defensive nade. We might see a nano Winston here, because Winston is really close to this backline. Through all this like push and pull foolishness, there's the Winston. There's the whip shot too. There's the whip shot. Fielder might die. He does it, but he is zoned. Who am I kidding myself? Like backlines dying? Never. Nano Winstons are traded. Both are peeled off relatively well. Huge sleep dart. The primal is there. This might come down to the Pulse Bomb from Stalker, honestly. Unless Violet doesn't get his rally here. I'm curious to see what happens. Violet is in trouble. Violet is in trouble. Ah, yeah. Violet gets isolated. He just doesn't have the rally in time. It's a really nice juggle by Donghak. Considering he got slept, the fact that Violet's able to get isolated out here, maybe a misplay from Violet micro-wise, but that's really good. Fearless still... Oh, there's the Pulse, Stalker. There's the Pulse. First Pulse, yeah. There you go. Okay, that's it. So Atlanta finally comes in clutch at the end. Credit to Houston. I think they played the last little bit there pretty well. He gets stunned by Chio rally. That's true, yeah. Alright, here we go.
She's going to line this up. Now, what is he waiting for, I wonder?
That nade must be on the high ground. Probably on the Winston. Not quite. Good try, mate. Good try.
Maybe to splash onto standing on the high ground. It's like a set bonade on a Winston could be a great way to start.
So space taken. Atlanta's really not obsessed with stuffing this choke because their Echo the Echo gets value here. But Sombra doesn't really give a rip. Sombra can fight wherever, so they're not as concerned about stuffing. Zoning on backline. They're trying to clear out Pelican. Pelican is able to stay for a little bit longer than we would have liked. So that means Atlanta is pretty good neutral trade for Houston there.
Both his Brig and Dog hack up.
Defensive nade. Lip gets scouted out. Lip messes up. But because he messes up, Houston pushes, and Violet walks right into a nade. So Violet's like, hey guys, they've messed up, walks in and dies. However, because they get enough space off of it, this is actually still a very winnable fight. Yeah, I am really questioning what happened with the Lip here. I hate to be that guy, but the translocator placement from Lip wasn't that great there. Too close. Too close, given the circumstances of the fight. So rare miscue from Lip there. That might give Houston, maybe gives them an advantage here. Oh, maybe it doesn't.
Does not look like Happy's going to be able to
no,
finish him
sad.
off.
That was a huge opportunity there.
A grenade from Fielder towards that high ground that actually connected with it on a Violet, and that's how Violet falls really early on because they were getting in the mix. They wanted to really try and fight and contest that high ground.
The close to an EMP now. Pelican already has his.
They're scouting. They scout EMP. They force Pelican out. They force Pelican out, then go for the fast EMP on Houston's backline. It's a fat EMP is the follow-up there. Looks like yes. Oh, wow. Actually, no. The positioning was there, but Stalker isn't. And Donghack doesn't quite land in time. They also get split on targets where Lip doesn't have LOS on Shu, and Violet's the one that's literally, what is that, 10 HP? And then Shu lives to get nade off. Then the defensive EMP is fat, and the tables have turned. Nano is lost. It's actually supposed to be on Donghack. It gets used on Stalker. Rare miscues, man. Rare miscues, and that's another good manual hack. So great peel by Houston's backline there. Great dodge, and like just a slight timing goof up there, right? Fearless dies again. He has bubble, but he's unable to bubble dance around the Tracer, ends up just dying. Stalker is one. Will he die? He will die. They're able to push in and finish him off. Violet does get naded in response, though. Huge sleep, huge rally to keep Violet alive, and that should be the cap. Maybe? Huge peel from Atlanta. There's the Nano. There's the rally. I think surely somebody from Houston dies here. Geo? Maybe? No, more of a stalemate. Oh, again. Violet gets slept. Holy guys, this support play is just unreal. This is just unbelievable. Like it honestly feels like I honestly really don't know if people are gonna live or not. Like it's impossible to predict because it requires literally perfect execution. It is almost impossible to predict. Violet gets smoked, and Shu gets caught with his pants down, and once again, Fearless's early death cost in a fight that felt won resets the fight. By the way, do you guys see what I'm saying about the Nano usage and like the support ult usage? Well, this is why I was so mad about the Nano on Fearless right here. Look at Atlanta. They're down 2. They defensively Nano, and that defensive Nano is what keeps Stalker alive and ends up getting a kill. And Stalker being alive and being able to survive at least as long as he did is what forces Violet to push up to get the kill. But then that overextends Violet, gets him naded, which then forces double support ultimate. Right? So even though Stalker dies anyway, the fact that the Nano was used in a defensive format indirectly, it's like the butterfly effect. It eventually ends up being why Atlanta holds this point. I mean, to be fair, it was a Nano Tracer, but this is where you really feel the lack of... I made a video on this with like the 4v5. This is where like the off-tank stabilization pressure, whether it's through Matrix or whatever else, is really missed. Where a fight feels won, but because you've used all your cooldowns, there's nothing stopping a Tracer from just killing your monkey. No, I agree. Violet definitely kind of trolled a little bit, but I mean, it's Nano Rally, you know what I'm saying?
So bad. I mean, He gets slept. They keep him alive through that. He ends up getting up, popping his rally. He gets hit with a biotic grenade. They wanted to push in for that kill so bad.
I agree. I feels like at any point in time, a fight is still winnable. Lip on the angle. Happy is forced out somehow. That takes a Winston bubble to clear Sombra. There's the trade. They're looking for flankers. They hit the Data and Fearless. That's going to be an early primal. Sleep Dart is used. Miss. But should be okay. Nano is necessary. Whip Shot is missed. A little bit of a miscue there from Atlanta. Maybe playing that one a little bit better with the Sleep Dart. We actually see them using Nano aggressively. So rare miscue from Atlanta backline. Another Pulse Bomb doesn't quite hit. They're able to hold it off. Basically an ult for ult, but Houston does get space out of it. EMP time. Who's going to dodge it? Who are you going to dodge? That doesn't make any sense. There's EMP deep. They have the positioning for it. Happy has to reach really far. Oh no, Lip. Lip! Lip! Lip, they're about to dodge your EMP! They're about to dodge your EMP, Lip! Lip, no! Lip! Lip! Lip!
The low ground. Stalker's tracking him.
Oh.
Mirrored one as well. Happy on
Oh man. That being said, check out Stalker's clip on Happy. Happy triple blinks in. Check out Happy. One clip from Stalker. I wish to goodness we had replay viewers so we could have watched this. Stalker literally one clips Happy.
Impressive as always. Fielder unhappy at the trades here. Geo still hacked for now, but able to.
So again, it feels like there's no way that Atlanta holds this one, right? Okay, Fearless gets naded, so maybe he lives.
And a couple of other players, a couple of DPS on the point. What can they do here? Shu just wants to keep Fearless up. That's all he cares about right now, and is building that nano pretty quickly. 2 ticks.
I think they're okay. It was a good EMP. It was a great EMP. No, what? Does Lip get hacked? Lip must get hacked. Or Pelican. Pelican just dies. I think he gets shot by Fielder, but he doesn't translocate out. Again, these deaths are just like, feels so random, you know? Like, Happy gets one clipped by Stalker. Like, alright, well, there you go.
It's going to come to the point now after getting rid of the enemy. Sombra, Brig is here. Happy's going to be forced away to Houston.
What's going to happen here?
It was a slim one, but they can't squeeze through it. And now they're going to have to get it done in desperation.
Oh my god.
And it was a slim one, but they can't squeeze through it. And now they're going to have to get it done in desperation, and desperation alone in the last 6 seconds. Happy will be pursued to the grave. It's going to be Gio.
Oh no. Oh no, the hubris. All they had to do was stay alive, and Fielder gets naded. Oh no. No way they lose to that. Never mind. Wait. Notice he's trying to save his shield bash to finish off the Ana. No way! Fearless nanoed right now, but Chio has no fear. Brings him down, but Pelican elsewhere deals with Stalker. It's going to be a rally coming in from Violet now, but the shield bash from Chio. He is brave, I'll give him that. But now Donghack with a primal rage looks to try and make the difference, and it's Shu taken down. Oh.
Can it give him the kill on Violet? Yes! Donghack's able to go in there and find that player. Now there's no healers left for the Houston Outlaws, but there will be players coming back off respawn. Donghack has to finish the job.
There's just no way, man. I'm telling you guys, what did I say in Lijiang Tower? You cannot give these guys any space. You cannot give them any space. Like, you just can't, you cannot make a mistake. You cannot make a mistake. Think about how many opportunities Houston had that Atlanta just stole right away from them. Just absolutely ripped the rug out from underneath their feet. Absolutely robbed. I mean, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Wow. So, I mean, credit goes to Stalker, really clutched up there at the end. And I mean really, like, just handed them 2 kills that really had no business winning. Backline from Atlanta actually struggled a little bit there at the end, but had their moments. Donghack plays well. Lip obviously fumbles, but I mean, again, it's just crazy. I'm trying to think about Houston here. Just some miscues, really, from the backline. Fearless dying a lot of times unnecessarily. I don't necessarily think it was Fearless's fault. But yeah, okay. Does loser choose? I think map is just called for. Yeah, you see, map is just chosen ahead of time. I think it's for playoffs. Yeah. Man, my mouth hurts. I did like 4 hours of coaching to this. My mouth hurts. Okay, so Echo because first point and Dorado. I don't think we'll see Echo on second point. Maybe we might see Echo on third point though. Second point's a little too broad for Echo, but maybe they'll snowball with Echo. Any questions, or do we keep going? I'm gonna stand up and do my calisthenics while I'm waiting. Some Prancer size. Listen, the Overwatch League doesn't want you to know, but if you're not Prancer sizing, you're missing out. It's actually the life hack. I have it on. I have it from Coach Gator's lips himself. That Atlanta's keys to success is that between scrim maps, they all do Prancer size. They get their one-piece swimsuits on. All right, and Lip leads them in calisthenics. It's phenomenal. You guys have no idea what. Yeah, that's good stuff. They also do hula hooping on the side. And anabolic steroids, but that's another story. What advantage does Echo actually give if you lose a flanker summer and need to peel more? I mean, it's a lot more direct pressure onto Monkey, more consistent pressure on a Monkey. And you still have pretty good dive threat as well. And it has a pretty good ult, too. Team building, yes. They forget to TP out. What's happening there? It's not a forgetting to TP out. It's just very hard when there's a lot of crap happening on your screen to remind that, hey, EMP... You're talking about, like, Pelican? Okay, so here's what happens with the Pelican thing, all right? Let me... Because that's a pretty good question, actually. So Pelican just freaking dies. Let me tell you why Pelican freaking dies. It doesn't necessarily excuse it in full, but it explains it. Watch this. Watch Pelican's HP. He is shooting a flanker. You see this? He's shooting a flanker. Right at that moment, he gets shot by Fielder, I believe. Maybe? Or maybe he gets whip shot by Chio. No, he doesn't get shot by Fielder. So the problem is when you're like shooting like a Tracer or a Sombra and you get hit by a burst of damage, your mind says, okay, I have 0.6 seconds before I have to translocate out, right? And you need to greed that. But then any burst of damage, even if it's just a small burst of damage, it kind of throws that internal timer off and it can mess you up. It could have also been a translocator as well. I don't want to remove that option as well. That's probably the more likely option, but it's just a little detail. Yeah, so let's see.
Echo, so we're gonna give them a little bit more access to that high ground.
Echo is also underrated versus flankers. She's not great versus flankers, but she's underrated. She's okay versus them. The only problem she struggles versus flankers is if she gets surprised. If she can, like, for example, if Echo flies at the Sombra and doesn't get shot by Fielder, she will force Translocator immediately. And one headshot on a Tracer is devastating. So it's difficult, but it's doable. All right. Let's take a look here. So you see that Fearless right there. Force Lip out. Okay, Lip's over there. Yo, Lip here, Lip here, Lip here, Lip here. He's trying to scout.
He knows where Lip is. Doesn't need to worry about him yet.
You see the angle here? He's trying to hide from Fielder because Fielder's the real scare here, right? Looking for backline. They hit the nade on Violet. There it is, right? Holy butt cheeks.
pretty scary.
Like, this is just phenomenal staging from Pelican. Never peeking on it, always hiding, juking from point A to point B. I mean, for crying out loud, guys, look at Pelican's positioning here. How does he get here? Like, do you see how, like, perfectly timed and, like, how sneaky he had to go? Because they're all focusing on the anti-nated brick. And he goes from, like, point A to point B to point C to point D to point E, and he gets the kill. The nade is a bit risky, but in theory, they have the high ground here. So if he gets any sort of peel here, he gets help. I honestly just think Atlanta lets their attention slip. It is too easy. Yeah. Atlanta was not expecting this. Atlanta got caught with their pants down. This is a mistake from Atlanta, but phenomenal execution by Pelican here. And now he can just do whatever he can do whatever he wants. Like, there is nothing that he needs to be scared of now. Bam, he's dead. So yes, I agree. Mistake from Atlanta, but also really nice execution from Echo there. Shield's broken. Gio was dead. I don't know how Happy dies. Shouldn't be happening. That's a classic Atlanta. If you guys don't, if they don't beat you in team play, they'll beat you mechanically in some way, shape, or form. They just win free fights because somebody does something stupid that shouldn't be possible. And there you go. Right, this should be a very comfortable point capture, but because I mean, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Like, it's just, I hate. This is just like, this is so infuriating because I've been here. Like, I remember with London, you know, we had good players, but, you know, obviously not this kind of level of super talent, and we would sometimes outperform teams in terms of strategy and team play and coordination, or our ult game is like way better, and then we just lose to some crap like this. And that's it. There you go. Stalker just kills Happy for literally no reason. We don't know what happened, but he just 1v1s Happy and wins, and then Stalker just pulse bombs you, and that's it. And that's it. Congrats. You just freaking lose. Hate that guy. Ha! Screw you, Stalker. Moron. Trash can. This guy's crazy, man.
I think they knew that Stalker was behind. They just
Ooh, Violet naded again. That is, by the way, one of the more underrated little micros. There's a couple little micros here that are underrated. You guys want to get your notepad out? Things to look for. Flankers and Winstons dodging EMPs. Backliners dodging EMP and trying to limit it to only one person. I know it sounds really stupid, but consistently hitting your whip shots is unbelievably underrated for teams. You do not miss your whip shots on Monkey if you want to perform in this league. Another mechanic, blocking on a nade as a brig with your shield or expecting it. What's another one? Reacting to manual hack as Tracer, not just EMP. There's a lot of little details in this meta that are really, really, really important.
too far from everybody else.
That the better teams are really quite good at. Wait, what? What happened? Oh my gosh, guys, look at this. Lip up top. Lip slept. Holy crap.
Instantly is.
Holy crap, that's it.
Actually gets slipped in the high ground. Donghack goes up there with a ball.
I was slapping my thighs. All right, big stickies on a Donghack. Happy gets the stick. That's a good play. Weird that they nano, honestly. I don't feel like it was necessary there, but sure. I mean, you're up 2 at this point in time, but sure. I mean, that's fine. You know, guarantee the first cap. First cap can be kind of awkward. Hey, Mantis, what's up? All right. We're able to keep our copy, which is really important because this means that whereas Echo is, it's a little awkward for Echo here, you can actually like use your Echo ult to snowball on second. We'll probably see, it depends on this fight situation. There are so many good copies here. Most notably are the big 3 right here. This one's the safest one. This one's the most situational. This one is somewhere in between. Tracer's always a good copy. Ana's a great copy if you can get high ground and anti-nade, and also it's pretty easy to build nano. Winston's kind of in between where you do need kind of a good free engage. Otherwise, you just get whip shot and you just do nothing. But yeah.
Overhead, it's like, why would you not be in stealth?
So we'll see. The weakness of Echo here is just it's a very broad map. So the nice thing is that copy can kind of carry over Echo's weaknesses here.
Potentially a stealth Sombra. I mean, that is
EMP is definitely scary here. You see, Happy's learning. He's learning, guys. Look at. Woo! Happy's like, ah, crap, I'm out of here, man. That's it. That's great. So that makes pushing cart very difficult because you don't really have any way to stop Lip from doing that, right? You don't have a hack that'd be like, yo, Lip, you know, screw off, cousin. You know what I'm saying? You could just, I mean, you could shoot him with Ana, but like, you know, you really need to try and force him out before you do anything. You know, it's really, really, really scary. So like even here, like Houston's all grouped up, but then now there's a timer in their head. Okay, Lip is setting up, Lip is setting up, Lip is setting up, Lip is set up. We got to get out of here, right? So you're going to see them to either engage in the next 2 or 3 seconds or split up in the next 2 or 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. There's a manual hack that gives information on Pelican. Pelican gets peel. It's a good hack from Lip. The follow-up just isn't there. See, the timing from Stalker is late. So that communication and Dawn hack as well. Like this is actually a really nice hack that actually could very easily could have been a kill if the communication from Lip there had been a little bit better. I don't think Lip was expecting that. But yeah, it happens. We get some scouting on the Echo. So it's not the end of the world. Dong hack does get his bubble force though, because the dive fails. Happy takes an off angle underneath high ground, which is an excellent position to poke out Monkey here. And Stalker's on high ground. Now, does anyone want to guess why Stalker is not dropping to shoot Fearless or not dropping to shoot Happy? Because there's a lot of value that's being lost here. Because these guys are pushing cart for free. Echo hack does not get follow-up. And Happy is able to shoot your Winston, but you're not able to shoot Happy. Why is Stalker on the high ground and not marking the enemy Winston and Tracer? Because that's a big deal, right? Okay. Well, I asked the question, I get the answer before it's even there. No. I mean, yes and no. This is why he's on the high ground. Pulse bomb. He knows the supports are there. He wants the pulse bomb. And that's it right there. Now, the funny thing is he was not even aiming for Pelican. He was actually aiming for Violet. And he accidentally sticks Pelican. Check it. Pelican turns his shield, but it ends up sticking Pelican. Now, the weird thing to me is Fearless bubbling Donghack. I don't understand that. I understand the theory. I don't think it was necessary. I think Happy poking out Donghack alone would have forced the jump out enough for the dive on the backline to be enabled. So I think this is not a great bubble from Fearless. But yeah, great pulse. There's EMP. And Happy survives. Check it out, guys. Solo EMP on the Tracer, but the follow-up isn't there. And Happy's able to live. Recall out of it.
It looked like it was like almost on a Violet on the corner here, but maybe Violet dodged it. And I think Pelican is actually like
Houston is able to live to see another day. Not a clean team fight win from Atlanta. Lip's EMP is not getting the follow-up that they need. And now I imagine we'll probably see Stalker. It's kind of hard to say, given the fact that you know, the Houston backline is still on top. But I would like to see Stalker drop to contest at some point here and get pocket from his team on high ground. We'll see if he does it. There he, okay, they get the manual hack on to Pelican. Pelican gets shifted out. I think that's a defensive anti-nade as well. Stalker still not dropping. A lot of free push from Houston here. I think this is a miscue from Atlanta. I really do. I really think this is a miscue. Because Stalker is really not going to stop the backline from walking forward at this point without pulse bomb. They have double support. It's not going to happen. Or they essentially have double support. Pelican is able to stage a dive onto high ground because Stalker is not punishing them on low ground. You see the problem here? They're so obsessed with stopping the backline from getting involved in the battle that they allow Pelican, Happy, and Fearless to just like push the cart for like 1 trillion miles and get really, 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 really close for free. This is a mistake from Stalker. This is a 100% a positioning error from Stalker. There's no way that these guys should be full HP entering this fight. No way. Zero way. And certainly not this much payload push. Yo, what's up, Glorious? Cheers, thanks for coming in. Stalker doesn't have recall. That's true. Well, at this point in time, he should still probably be looking to drop. And the problem is that he should have been dropped before they even got his recall forced, right? So this ends up being a bit of a disaster. The copy goes onto Ana. Like I said, situational. He hits the nade, Fielder dies.
Coming towards Fielder. Can't quite give him the last lick, but Fearless
They do kill the Echo out of copy, though, and they don't get the healing.
can't quite give him the last lick, but Fearless.
Oh, he doesn't get his shift in time.
And now he's in trouble. He's just gonna pop
Donghak will have to use his primal.
a 1-for-1.
Double supportal still available. That's a huge sleep dart. Pulse misses. That's an early primal. They're trying to force Fearless out. Houston is playing this one really, really, really well.
Buy a little bit of time for Fielder to get
There's the sleep dart onto Nano Monkey.
primal. He maybe to buy a little
Fearless Nano Primal gets slept. Oh, but he gets woken up. He wakes up, and will he kill Fielder?
makes that a little bit.
No, but he'll zone backline enough to be able to kill the Tracer. So a little bit of a miscue from the Houston Outlaws there. We've seen Nano Primal. You don't love to see Nano Primal. So that's a bit of a miscue there. They do get the kill on Stalker. Here comes the Nano Monkey. The rally is there. The sleep is there. The stun is there. The nade is there. Donghak will die. No, Donghak will not die. He gets defensively naded. They clear lip on cart.
Still, but Atlanta unable to start anything up right now.
They're focusing Donghak. We're going to see a pulse bomb on a Donghak here. The pulse bomb is bad. He almost dies to his own pulse bomb. The nade hits, though. That's going to force Sombra out. Good, pretty good neutral trade there. Houston just gave up, or Atlanta gave up so much cart push. And Lip's value from manual hack plus Stalker follow-up on cart should have been much, much higher. Because remember, guys, when the cart gets to, like, here, especially with the Houston backline being here, these guys are so free to shoot. So free to shoot. There is no way that you should allow that dive to happen. I think Atlanta really fumbled the bag with their map strategy here. I think it's more map strategy specific. Like, this is something that specifically that needed to come out and be figured out in scrims. Yeah.
Letting Fearless push into the back line, and that'll be the second check.
Is this a Stalker's fault? It's hard to say. It could have been something that they didn't figure out in scrims or didn't work out. But like, it's a, and again, I'm being very nitpicky here because that's the level of play that we're talking about here. You cannot let them push that much cart for free with that much neutral value and stage a dive that easily. Like, Atlanta had to be putting a lot more pressure onto that Echo, onto that Winston, onto that Tracer.
What do you have if you're the Outlaws to work with? Lip is
EMP, let's see what happens. Houston kind of needs to be super cheesy here because they don't have a single supportal here.
historically is you see Donghak jumped in there.
Good kite there.
Right? I mean, he's
Donghak goes in really early,
historically
and he gets punished.
Donghak jumped in there. Maybe
Rare team miscue from Atlanta. I don't even know where Atlanta's backline actually is. I don't even know if they had LOS.
finished off there. I mean,
Yeah, good play from Houston there.
Normally, I would have understood that if there was an EMP, right? Like, the timing's good if Lip EMP's there. Maybe Lip just...
Nade just barely misses. Pelican now has his EMP. By the way, notice that he has swapped to Sombra after that last fight.
instantly gets
because
kicked off.
Donghak beat that position, right? Why would he dive in there if you're not?
There's the anti-nade, hits Shu. They kite it out. There's the EMP from Pelican.
Right? Why would he
Responded
dive
to
in there if you're not-
immediately by Rally, by Chio. But it does hit Lip, and he might die. Does not in time. Not quite there. Forces Rally. Forces a cooldown trade.
Looks like a mix with a few players, but Chio gets the rally off.
Yeah, 3-player shield bash there from...
Nade is there, hits the EMP and the nade, and Shu dies. Look at Shu's body language. So he sees the nade, and he's like, oh shoot. You could barely see it for a brief second, and he's like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And but they don't dodge it in time.
Through the Outlaws off
And so the nade is there. The EMP hits, I think, Tracer as well.
there from Chio, which...
Yeah, it hits too many people. That is way too fat of an EMP. And then Atlanta just completely slams the door shut.
Forced to hold on to it there. That's a...
Cheers, Saber.
The EMP from Lip is still extremely good there as people.
Now Houston enter this fight pretty good.
Like mini help.
You can force. You're gonna need to get a little bit of cart push potentially, but you can also force top with double support ult and primal. Let's see how they play this one out. There's a little bit of the cart push. They're gonna try and get the cart a little bit further forward. Oh, that pulse one swings wide. That was a weird pulse one. I don't even know where that was.
Post-punk ban.
Pressure onto Happy. Weird play here. Weird play here. I'm not sure if they're looking for Sombra. Maybe looking for a hack on somebody. But Donghak goes in super deep, and I don't really see the reasoning why. Something must have happened in miscommunication there. Maybe looking... Yeah, and again, it's really strange. You know, he gets his primal force because the dive is so deep. So it's the second dive that we've seen from Atlanta on third point where something happens in terms of communication. Somebody goofs up or Houston does a rotation that catches Atlanta off guard, and they end up getting caught with their pants on. First time Donghak dies. This time he has to use primal to keep himself alive. Why don't Houston backline take high ground? They need to get cart pushed up a little bit further forward. Then they can take high ground.
What's the
Pelican forced out. Fearless is in super deep with Nano. I don't love this, to be honest with you. I don't know if he has. He must have some sort of scouting information, but like this is really, really, really deep. The sleep dart must have been baited here, and that's a big punish. That's a rare misplay from the Atlanta Reign backline. He nano primals to pursue to finish the kill. He gets the primal to make sure that he gets the jump reset to get the kill, but something happened with sleep dart there. That goofed that up, or maybe to a lesser extent whip shot. And now they have all the map point. Will they be able to touch? They need to clear lip. They do clear lip. Stalker's touching next. He gets packed. His recall is forced. Next nano rally. Lip is forced out instantly, but the nano break doesn't do a lot. They find Lip's translocator, and then they push in afterwards, and that's it. Houston really earning this one. Atlanta, a lot of messed up dives on third point. Huge mistake on first point in terms of just how easily Houston was able to win that dive onto their Ana. A lot of misplays on second point as well. Like basically Houston only had to win one fight on second point. They were able to get way too much objective pressure. I just don't think Atlanta looks as comfortable on this map.
They bounce back with a completion here on their offense. So Stalker will come out here on the Widow just like we saw Happy, and then we'll see him go to the Tracer.
Hey, what's up?
Like we saw Happy, and then we'll see him go to the Tracer.
So, they're looking to clear out Pelican. What? Was that a translocator destruction? I don't know what happens there. Pelican really goofs up. Either he doesn't press his E button. There's no way his translocator was destroyed. Because Lip wasn't set up yet. Maybe he was. I don't think Lip destroyed translocator given Lip's positioning here. Wait, maybe he did. Yeah, see, yes, he did. He did. Look, here's Lip. There's Lip. That's it right there. Is Echo not good at defense? She's okay. She's okay. But you can start your Sombra on high ground when you're on defense. You can't start your but you can't start your Sombra on high ground on attack. So it's like you run like a hit scan on defense because you can set them up in a powerful position. But Echo provides that verticality. But you don't really need the verticality if you just start with a verticality. Any chance of London versus San Francisco analysis? Yeah, I did I live watched it. So you guys can check it out on Spilo too. Yeah, so they destroy Translocator, and so they find Translocator. Pelican's freaking out, and he's dead. That's one way to win a neutral. Find Translocator. 3, 2, 1. Now Houston doesn't need to panic. They will need to give up some space here, but they do still have the high ground. So if they can kite this one out, okay, they should be all right. Fearless gets really low. They're able to keep him up. They need to keep kiting here. Chiu is positioning pretty aggressively here. There's the Pelican find again. He's going to get his Translocator forced again. Fielder gets caught in rotation, though. Maybe a little bit of hubris from Atlanta. Like, Atlanta's backline just kind of chilling on cart, and they end up getting pincered pretty nastily. Lip as well gets caught with his pants down. So really, Atlanta kind of fumbles the bag here. They get a pick advantage, they push it, but their backline doesn't really play with any respect. Chiu and Fielder just kind of walk on the cart, and they end up getting pincered from this direction and this direction because both the backliners were here. They should not have been there. There should have been a lot more respect given there. Yeah, no problem. Ceiling Enjoyer. Ceiling Enjoyer. Y'all are weird.
Just when Fearless jumps up there, right? Violet's still controlling that high ground there with Chiu. They don't give it up, and the cart just kind of stuck now.
Okay, some neutral pressure. Lip might look for Locator again. Pelican gets scouted out. Cart pressure and just freaking dice. Stalker kind of goes in and just gets one shot. Bam. Nade whip shot. Literally one shot by the backline. I mean, he wasn't full HP, but that's 130 damage instantly. So just really just some mechanical goof ups. I think just goof ups from Atlanta. Atlanta seems like a little bit like rushing things, just a little bit here, right? A little bit of impatience. Not playing as
These ultimates, you could use them
cerebral, as we're used to seeing them.
really make it difficult for Atlanta Reign to get that payload moving again.
That's what they want. They want to be able to settle into
Okay.
this kind of rhythm. It's
Early
ridiculous.
EMP. There's the split.
2 minutes in the round.
The rally is there. The nano is there.
It's ridiculous. They haven't been
The EMP is pretty good. I mean, it's fine. It hits both supports. They don't quite get the follow-up in time.
It's ridiculous. They haven't been forced apart.
I mean, just this is unbelievable. Like, look at Chio. Like, this is the thing, right? Look at how close he is to dying there. I mean, literally, like, I think he gets to 25 HP, right? Nano and Rally is used. Primal is used as well. If Fearless can live, this could be a really good trade for Houston because while you did use EMP and Primal, you're able to preserve both of your support ults, and Atlanta's not really in a great position to follow up. So they're going to use Rally in response. I question the Rally in response. I think it was trying to keep Fearless alive, but that does mean that they're not going to be able to do a lot with that Rally. I think Atlanta's probably going to kite. Why is Lip EMPing? This is stupid to me. Like, and I mean this in the most complimentary way ever. There's just no way that Lip looks at this and says, "Oh yeah, we can EMP this." Backline's out. My Winston has already used bubble. I mean, is Stalker even there? Yes, he is there. But like, this is just insanity. Like, I honestly think it's so insane that they go for that with like a full HP rallying Brig without a nade, without Brig follow-up, without a Winston bubble, that I honestly don't think Houston was ready for it. And so Violet just dies. I'm not even saying this is a bad play. It's just so unbelievably risky from Lip that Houston's not expecting it. Like, because this could have gotten bashed. This could have been nanoed. Lip could have just died. So that's insane. They get the kill because the timing and the target focus is just unreal. There's the nano in response, though. And Fielder, again, W keys in, but they have nano in response. And so Fielder dies. Really a little, just, it's a lot of hubris from the backline of Houston, or from the backline of Atlanta. Lip's gonna get forced out, his translocated out. They find his translocator, Pelican does, and kill him. I think some pretty just sloppy from the Atlanta backline. Sloppy.
Having to be forced on respawn here by Stalk is going to hurt.
Yeah, and can you come back here?
Yeah, that's true, Ice-T. That could definitely be the case.
Payload progress, 'cause you still have Abby here.
So Atlanta, despite kind of getting the bad end of the stick here from some Atlanta shenanigans, are actually in a pretty good position to hold this one for at least a little bit longer.
Win for the Outlaws, it just didn't seem like after that they played things right.
There's a sleep on the Lip. Where is Lip? Lip is on the angle. He's reloading and looking this direction, then gets slept from this direction. That's going to be a death right there. Pelican's not there to hack. The bubble there for defense is there. He's able to get out. That being said, that does force Donghack's bubble. Oh, man. That's okay. Not the end of the world for Houston. Primal and Nano used, or Primal and Pulse used. Surprised Happy even goes for that Pulse Bomb. I don't like that Pulse Bomb from Happy at all. But yeah, not a terrible hold from Houston. You see a cat? Oh, hi, kitty. Yeah, so Houston plays that one okay, but I think a lot of the reason why the difficulties from Atlanta were just, it honestly just felt like Chiu and Fielder were like, especially just a little bit of sloppiness, there. Houston is relatively pleased with that defense. They're going to rotate to high. Lip is building up that next little bit of EMP. Now, how do Atlanta play this one out? Because Atlanta is so close to double support ultimate here. So Chio's going to play really patiently. A little bit of scouting, a little bit of pressure from Donghack. Lip's still farming that EMP. They need to be able to jump or translocate out EMP if they do choose to EMP. What is Pelican going to go? He might just go for a front lane EMP here. There's the bubble. He gets pocket. Double support ult now online. Translocator is placed very aggressively. And yes, told you that translocator placement was too far. Not a good translocator placement. So Donghack ends up catching that one. Maybe Stalker, and he's in trouble.
Look at how far apart these two are.
You need everybody. Well, at this point,
That is such a crazy hack.
locator's busted, right? So you're
So that really sets the timer back in terms of the EMP. Because he's going to have to reset that translocator back on high. Now they go in. Chio's position is super aggressive. All right, guys, this is it. This is it right here. You're about to see nade, bubble drop, sombra, tracer off angle. I mean, really, there's so many people that need to play this one well. Let's see what happens. Nano Winston on Ana. Manual hack on Winston. Jumps out. Nade defensively used. But they killed it. That's actually a pretty cute play. Check this one out. So they don't EMP. Yeah, Atlanta supports are more focused on supporting cart. You see, this is what Houston is doing a better job, like hard pressuring, marking cart. So Atlanta's not worrying about fighting for high ground. They're worried about pushing cart. I think this is usually the play with this map, on this meta, is more about cart focus. That might change if they rework some of the aspects of this map in the future, but I think what both sides are doing here, it makes a lot more sense. Anyway, dive on Nano, forces on a brig peel, manual hack on dong hack, focus dong hack. And it works. And it works. So he gets manually hacked and just gets forced. Again, really making sure. Oh my gosh, what? How is this happening? I just don't. I don't know if that's a shot from Fielder, but this is the kind of stuff that it's really frustrating to see this as a Houston fan. Oh, and there it is. Oh, wait, did they catch Stalker with EMP? They must. They do. There's the Nano on Brig. Doesn't matter. Houston's in an okay position to pull this one out. Can they stabilize on high ground? There's a sleep dart used. We might not. Oh my gosh. Oh, guys. He just shoots him. Oh, no. At least they still hold high ground here. We could see Violet popping this here. He packs out. He bashes out. Oh, that one hurts. Fearless goes in hard. There's an early primal. They get the manual hack on Chio. Defensive EMP. Rally might be used as well if they even need to. But the EMP is quite bad because, lo and behold, watch Happy and Pelican. Oh, Pelican gets EMP'd. Never mind. I thought Happy recalled it. He might have recalled it, but Pelican just freaking dies. They need to whittle Fearless down more before they pulse him. Pulse misses. Rally used. Sombra forced out. Violet get caught with his pants down, looking kind of silly with his pants on the ground. Peel on Dong Hack. Sleep misses. They don't have the bash. They get the manual hack. Happy's trying to hold cart by himself. He's going to need help very soon. He gets the help. There's the rally in response. Primal still zoning backline. Fearless holding the space, but he's about to lose. Wow, Stalker dies? What happens to Stalker? Does he get slept or bashed? Oh, he gets annihilated. He gets naded and lit up. I think Houston still loses this. Yeah. Just honestly, just a couple of really big goof ups, right? Happy dies after a fight's already won to just Stalker just killing him. Shu just gets lasered. And so, like, really, Houston plays a lot of things well, but they just mess up the most basic crap, right? And it kills it, right? It kills it right there. Still winnable.
Still, Houston, I feel like, has a significant advantage in terms of like where they have in terms of clock and then where the payload is. They can get an early pick off here. This would be huge.
Lot of aggression clearing space. It's a nice little nade there, forcing some space out. EMPs used are available now. Nano is available now. How are Atlanta going to play this one? How are we going to see a frontline EMP? Pelican needs help. He's too low. Will the follow-up be there? There's the pack. Will he hit Lip? Oh, they run into each other. Lip's forced out. Both Sombras spook each other. This is so funny. It's like a comedy skit. Both Sombras bump into each other, go, hoo, 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 you know, and they both scare each other out. That's super funny. So both Sombras scare each other. But Lit comes back in right away, says, you know what? That Winston looks juicy using bubble. Let's nuke this guy. But the timing isn't there. And Shu is able to dodge and use Nano in response. So Nano for EMP, not a great trait, especially, but oh my gosh, dude, I'm so tired of this game, man. I'm so tired of this game, man. Because everything's going great for Houston. But Stalker just walks up and just pulses people. And cancels the rally. Oh my gosh.
If that translocator was not available to him, and that is a disaster for Houston.
Oh!
That would have been a 3K if that translocator was not available to him, and that is a disaster for the plug. That would have been a 3K if that back, so that EMP for Lip.
Yeah, I think he rallies after he gets pulsed, because technically I think you can survive pulse bomb if there's no other follow-up damage, but I think he was a little bit low. But whoa, I think Stalker gets shot twice here. His shot, there's 75. No, it's perfect. It's 135. I forget, 75 damage. Whoa. Whoa. That is an unbelievable play from Shu right there. Oh, these guys are. Oh, they get the Atlanta. They get the Atlanta treatment. Oh, and the Nano is lost. Oh my gosh, guys, this is a game of milliseconds. Oh my gosh. There's no way, man.
But the Atlanta Reign have one more chance, one more fight. They look like they want to find something early here to give them a player advantage, but I don't.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, it looks like they back out even when losing Shio, and Shio and Mitch actually had used the rally and had the benefits of the Nano.
You could stick Monkey here. You could stick Monkey here. There's no support ult. There's no primal.
Really of either, so huge kill there from the Houston Outlaws. I mean, if that Brig would have been on the
trying to follow up with the dive for the high ground with the primal. He has to worry about point. The pulse misses, but it ends up accidentally hitting Chio. Ha! They rolled the RNG dice. Yeah, I mean, they just had 2 ults. Atlanta didn't have anything just yet, and he accidentally pulse bombed somebody. All right, guys. All right. I think Houston's defense really not that great, to be honest. Atlanta really kind of choked a lot in first point. And where Atlanta played relatively well on first point, they fumbled a little bit on third point. The main takeaway for me here is just how bad Atlanta's defense was. I really just don't think Atlanta played defense all that well at all. Way too easy. Too many fights. With backline goofing up. Too much cart given. I don't think any really one player. I think the backline from Atlanta kind of fumbled a little bit on first point attack. But yeah. Any questions so far? Whoops, I'm wrong here, bud. And this is really dangerous for Houston because, you know, or for Atlanta, because you're going into Oasis, and honestly, Houston definitely looked like the better brawl team. And Oasis has 2 out of the 3 points are a little bit more brawl favorite, or at least have brawl options. I mean, Esperanca is just like is just a great Sombra Tracer map. So wide, I have a hair in my nose. So wide, so open, so much space for Sombra Tracer. Why Echo Tracer over Echo Sombra? You need just the consistent cart pressure, the consistent damage from Tracer. Echo Sombra doesn't have enough consistent pressure on controlling the enemy Tracer and the enemy Winston. They just run rampant. You need the more consistent damage is the TLDR.
The old faithful coming at you for map 4.
And also, you don't want Happy on Sombra. I mean, Happy's a fine Sombra, but like Happy's been playing a lot more Tracer recently. They made that flip-flop. Okay, well, let's keep going.
Here on Esperanca, I thought it was Bastion Reinhardt based.
Would Sombra have too much downtime to make Sombra Echo work? Kind of. You need something to control the enemy Sombra. right? And Sombra doesn't control the enemy Sombra that much. You need a Tracer to kind of cancel hack, Tracer to clear the enemy Sombra. And what would happen if you ran Sombra Echo is your Sombra and Echo would need like constant babysitting, and your Sombra would just get cleared constantly. Did I see Atlanta versus Toronto? I saw a little bit of it. I saw the crazy like 7-6, 8-6, or 8-7 push circuit royale thing. All right, well, let's see it. The Atlanta map.
Which is really rare for the Atlanta Reign. So see if they can kind of get that cleaned up going into this map.
Yeah, we're referencing, mate, basically that one moment on Dorado.
Got Translocator, and that's it.
Yeah, we're referencing, mate, basically that one moment on Dorado that looked a bit
Going into this map.
Yeah, we're referencing, mate, basically that one moment on Dorado that looked a bit odd here, but
Pelican is definitely getting punished for the Translocator placement. That is something that has been occasionally biting him in the butt. I'd say about once or twice per map.
I mean, the discipline from Lip there not to go for something completely different. That resulted in an easy kill on Pelican to open things up.
And that'll get the push spot moving. Donghack just wants to jump up, tickle that high ground, and make sure nobody can kind of come out all healthy and make a play. As
Bubble and Hack is a little late. That's a little bit tragic.
Fearless going to come down.
So Donghack will have to end up giving up some space, but they get a little bit of a lead.
Just to wait for that opportunity to present itself.
Ooh, that sleep dart almost hits.
Really taking the high ground completely, getting some push progress early. It looks like as Atlanta.
Nade misses. They dive. The whip shot is kind of goofy, but it's enough. There's the defensive nade. It doesn't quite hit Fearless, which is what they're aiming for. However, they bounce right back, and that ends up being the punish. So I want you guys to watch this play very carefully. Watch the timing of this play. So Lip goes in now. Forces sleep dart, forces appeal. They go, guys, they've used the Sombra's out. Let's take this opportunity to push. Okay, fine. The nade goes, the Winston goes in. I don't know where Pelican is, and I don't know where Tracer is. But the follow-up from Houston just feels kind of toothless. You know, so you see Happy here. I don't see any hack onto anybody from Atlanta. And heck, Pelican isn't even on the screen. So I don't know where Pelican is, right? So the follow-up from Houston off of that dive, the nade misses, the Tracer isn't there, the Sombra doesn't appear to be there. So the dive is done, but really nothing really happens to Atlanta. It's kind of like it's just a lame dive, right? So then they have to disengage. But the problem is that the dive was actually more expensive for Houston because they had to use nade and they had to use their Winston bubble and jump and lost a lot of HP. To be fair, they did use nade as well. So Atlanta does what's called the rubber band effect, where they get stretched a little bit, but then they snap right back once the Winston jumps back out. Because they're very healthy. They can go right back in and punish. And that's exactly what happens. They go right back in, they bubble off the Ana healing, they're unable to get the follow-up in time. So you could look at this and be like, oh, Fearless is dying off of cooldown here. But what's the real problem here? Who made the mistake here? Let's look at, I want you guys to look carefully at Fearless's jump. Is the jump from Fearless bad? No, it's actually quite good. He's able to actually get on top of the Ana and the Brig without actually dying. He actually dodges the whip shot, kind of bounce into it, right? He doesn't get whip shotted back. So Fearless, totally fine. At least it's from the mechanical side of things, right? Where's my Sombra? Where's my Tracer? Missed anti-nade. You guys see what I'm saying? So this is why you cannot say, oh, Fearless is feeding. Oh, Fearless is... No. What happened? Where was Sombra? Where was Tracer? Was this a miscommunication? Was Fearless not listening? Was Chu not listening? Was Pelican not listening? Was Pelican lazy with communication? I don't know what the issue is here. So you can blame this guy's not being here, these guys not being here, and the nade not hitting in terms of why it's done. But besides the nade not hitting, we don't know whose fault it is. You can run Kiriko to deny anti-nade value, but that also means that every single Winston just jumps in for free without getting whip shot. Whip shot is more valuable and also rallies a better ultimate and dive comp than Kiriko. So Houston, it's very obvious why Houston fails here, but it's not so obvious why, who's at fault, I guess, is the question here.
Very dangerous situation. Shu can't keep Fearless alive. He was under pressure himself. Donghack knew exactly.
Also worth pointing out as well,
Basically 0 HP.
that when Donghack bounces back, so to speak, that Violet isn't here to whip shot Donghack. You guys see that? So there's really a lot of people at fault here on Houston's end of thing.
Just Fearless.
You guys see that?
And Shu right in his face. Yeah, it's pretty tough.
situation. Shu can't keep Fearless alive. He was under pressure
Yeah.
himself. Donghack
Oh,
knew
Matt.
exactly who Fearless was trying to go back for, so throws the bubble down and disrupts that healing flow.
Yes, I mean now you're gonna have the control of that bot
Okay.
again, and dude, look at Lip's EMP charge right now compared to Pelican. I mean, Pelican died.
Pulse bomb used early by Stalker doesn't really get anything. I really don't like pulse bombs like that, but maybe he saw something. It happens.
Fielder always shooting something already.
Looks like a man, maybe some hack on a fielder. Chio peels back. That allows Fearless to take the high ground, but then he immediately has to vacate it. Backline EMP is very greedy. So not a good EMP from Lip. Very forced. I think a frontline EMP here on a Fearless would have made a lot more sense. Even with a Nano available, I think they could have one-shot him. So not the best EMP. They do get the nade on to shoot. So maybe Fielder clutches this one out. Nope, he gets the Mega. Nano is used in response. So a rare Lip whiff there. Yeah, mostly just reset. Yeah, reset, give up positioning.
Violet didn't have his rally online yet, but they extended too far the rain and couldn't quite catch those stragglers.
Lip dies. Lip is hacked. What happens to Lip? Lip just freaking dies. Lip just dies. Lip just freaking dies. He just gets two-shot. That's crazy. Big goof from Lip there. Maybe he lost Transcator? I don't think he did. I think he just got shot.
And maybe the idea is to here try to get Houston to force some of these ultimates early just to start to get the bot moving back towards about halfway across the map.
Yeah, already 43 meters for Atlanta right amidst all that fighting. All that
Okay, see, these Transicators from Pelican are like really scary.
Almost to that checkpoint. Fearless knows that getting through this high ground is going to be the big issue, and that's why Atlanta feel comfortable.
So Atlanta's playing super split, trying to mark, trying to dive, trying to spy check. They find Pelican, that's huge. They force Pelican out, that's also huge. They don't have EMP, so they're playing this one really baity. There's the EMP, and check it, guys. Check it, check it, check it, check it, check it, check it.
You know, they're going to have the Nano plus the rally on the other side, right?
There's the Nano instantly. Now, Dong does not jump out, and he is naded. So we will see a Primal Rage. So not a bad EMP from Pelican. The follow-up is there. It forcing Nano Primal is pretty good. Violet will need to rally now. There it is. They stay on Violet. Will Violet die? No. They peel it out. Okay, so relatively neutral trade. The key thing here being both Tracers miss their pulse bombs. Fearless is going to go for Primal and backline. Crucially, they're able to kite out. They have Rally versus Nano advantage. Dives in deep. Counter EMP because Lip has built another EMP at this time. He's been mostly just frontlining here. Lip has. There's the counter EMP. The Nano is there, though. The nade needs to be there. The nade is there, and that's going to be Fearless dead. So, honestly, just a really great response from Atlanta. I don't think it was necessarily a bad play from Houston. The key thing for me there is that the nade needed to be here for this Nano dive to work. It wasn't. Also worth noting as well that the peel EMP hits every single flanker, so they have to immediately leave, and so Fearless gets no follow-up. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad play from Houston. The EMP was fine. The rally was fine. But Atlanta just plays it a little bit better. You don't hit your nades, you don't hit your sleeps, you don't hit your big manual hack. The key thing that you're going to notice is that sometimes even when Houston has like a good fight plan, because all the little neutral details are better from Atlanta, they just gives them that edge that allows their ult game to get better. Like, you could look at that ult game and be like, the theory of what Houston did there was fine, but they didn't hit the anti-nade. They didn't hit the anti-nade, and Atlanta did. Now, the anti-nade for Fielder was easier, but that's it. Like, if that anti-nade hits backline, there's a real chance that somebody dies there, but it doesn't. So, and again, these Transicators. Pelican has by the way, why is Lip go for this? Well, because Pelican has EMP. So Pelican gets scouted out. Even if they don't get the kill here, that's going to reset the timer on their EMP, because Pelican's going to have to go back and reset his Translocator, right? And you see this kills the dive, right? Now Atlanta has a period of time where they can kind of relax, right?
Close to kind of getting that checkpoint is Outlaws.
They got it right.
Huh.
Yeah, they actually
You know,
looks like
okay, I guess.
stop for a second.
There's the EMP. The EMP from Pelican is fat.
Looks like they did. Looks like the bot like stop for a second. Yeah. So it looks like
Pulse bomb is there. What happens with the EMP here? I think Stalker gets a little greedy with the pulse bomb, ends up letting the Tracer go by. The EMP does hit both supports. The peel isn't quite there, and it's a good land. Notice, by the way, crucially, that the EMP allows Fearless, or both Happy and Pelican, to get there in time. I'm actually kind of curious. Did they hit the whip on Fearless?
the bot getting very close to kind of getting that checkpoint.
Fearless is hogging the right room really closely. He's getting marked heavily. I honestly don't know if he got whipped. I think he got whipped by Chio off. Which means, you know, phenomenal play there by Chio, but Fielder gets pincered.
Yeah, so it looks like they actually do get it. So getting the checkpoint quite massive here.
Just a little too close.
Looks like it's going to be going back towards Atlanta.
Hey, what's up, mate?
Still having that for
So they just need to disengage, reset.
Atlanta don't feel like they need to push any further than they have so far. They can go back and retake this defensive high ground. And now the Outlaws without an EMP.
Good spawn is lost. Houston should try to get their high. So this is the war that matters right now. Houston wants to get the cart around to here, set their backline here, and just power position and play slow. Okay. Atlanta doesn't want to give them that. Atlanta wants to try to take away this high ground from them, and they have a slight old advantage. At least will soon with EMP. So they're trying their best to try and control that space. No, the teams will definitely play a Sombra Tracer. I don't think teams would play double Sombra. That's my personal take. I think Tracers performs a very important role for dive follow-up, finishing kills, clearing and controlling the enemy Sombra. Yeah. The nade goes for the dive. Stalker gets hit. Atlanta's having a hard time getting out of this choke. They do manage it. Bubble is used. There's the nano. There's the manual hack on a fielder. And because they get the hack on a fielder, where's Chio? Yeah, see, Chio, you can barely see it, but Chio is turned around because fielder is hacked. This is where we were talking about this earlier, where sometimes your Sombra tanks and goes first to distract the Brig so that your Monkey can go in for free. So you see, if Pelican goes first, that turns Chio around, which allows Fearless to land on top of Fielder. So rare minor misplay from the Atlanta Reign backline. But Stalker just kills Happy. I mean, look at this, guys. Like, I swear, I mean, how many times has this happened, guys?
Okay, trade here. So be Happy falling to Stalker. He looks like he had eyes for him, but nicely done. Okay, trade here.
It's a little sloppy, though. Oh my gosh, like, look at the time to kill there. Like, it is brutal how fast that happens. Oh, he doesn't get primal. Wow. So miscue from Atlanta. Huge EMP follow-up. Yo, Celestial Design, thanks for the sub, mate. 99% on primal. By the way, you guys want a little detail? Check this one out. Somebody should clip this. Watch Fearless very carefully here. Can you guys see Fearless's face cam? Or is my face cam in the way? My face cam in the way? Hang on a second. Let me move my face cam really quick here. I'm gonna move my face. I'm gonna turn off my face cam for a second. Okay, check this out. Watch Fearless. I'm gonna turn on the playback speed. Check out Fearless really quick. Watch Fearless. You see this? He's screen peeking. He's screen peeking on Pelican's screen. I don't know if you're allowed, you're supposed to do that. I mean, they don't even try to stop it. Especially even at land, they don't even try to stop it. But it's pretty funny. He's watching Pelican stream, yeah. It's not like it's illegal or anything. Like I said, the Overwatch League isn't going to stop you from doing it. But it's kind of funny. Why wouldn't it be allowed? I mean, it's just not something that you'd expect to be normal strategy in the game of Overwatch. It brings into like a whole logistical nightmare. It's not really that big of a deal though, but it's kind of funny. He gets, what he's looking for is he's looking for where the backline is walking up from. He wants to see where they're rotating to, right? Now pings help a lot with that, make it a lot easier, but he wants to see, okay, he sees Tracer walking forward, he might see Ana walking forward, and that's what he needs to see.
Live, even though it looked like he was quite low in that EMP, once it landed, looks like Doghack just went for Shu instead of Violet by keeping himself.
Yeah, no, it's really not that big of a deal because even at lands, they don't try to provide dividers, so it's not like it actually matters that much. It's just kind of funny. It's a kind of cool little detail.
Allows the bot to keep moving here for the Houston.
Now, this is where Atlanta is in a really dangerous spot. Well, first off, Lip gets scouted. Check this out, guys. Spy check, spy check, spy check. Lip gets scouted. Atlanta's in a really bad spot here because Atlanta has a bit of an ult bank here. But the problem is that this is what we talked about with the Houston backline. Watch Houston backline here, right? This is the power position that we're scared about, right? Where you could just park your Houston backliners up here and guarantee cap and maybe even a little bit more. So even though you don't have a lot of ults, you have just enough to compete, you know? And it's going to be so hard for these guys to like actually contest this high ground.
Maybe around that health pack, Lip was low in fairness. He was walking the long way back.
So assuming Houston doesn't fumble the bag here, they're going to get at least cap, if not lead. Atlanta's trying to play underneath the high ground where they can't be seen. Just Violet hit the whip shot here. Notice that Winston is diving from here. So it's really hard for them to whip shot. Violet, I don't think quite hits it. I think Donghack is able to land on top. No, he does drop. There's the primal. He needs to be really careful. By the way, notice this little detail with Fearless. Do you see Fearless pops bubble before he primals? It's not exactly a crazy detail. It's like everybody should do this. But it's a cool little thing. It's especially important in these circumstances so he doesn't get whip shot, slept, or hacked. You can see he's dancing around his bubble to create space, right? Using cover. At the same time, Pelican's going to EMP front line here. The backline is unable to nano either EMP target. So we're going to see Stalker die, and Donghack is going to get his primal force as well. There it is. So then he's done his job. He's prevented the follow-up or any sort of help. Lip is also gets his Translocator force, but Happy dies again.
Attempted there by Lip, but Fearless is able to avoid it. Just wants to disrupt here, not trying to go for a final blow.
Happy's had a rough series, guys. Like, without knowing exactly what happened on screen, maybe I mean, the Nano Primal is one thing to point out. Maybe Happy was not expecting the Nano Primal, but there have been a lot of just Happy just dies or gets EMP'd. Because this fight is really Houston's to lose. Everything is going their way. They got Lip early. They got the Primal in the backline, which allowed the EMP to immediately kill Stalker and force Primal. Donghack gets the Nano Donghack, but it's not going to kill anybody. Not with a follow-up. Not if Houston plays their cards right. But Happy just gets Primal. I don't even think he has. I don't even think he recalls. I think he should have recall here. And the peel from here is fine. Like you see this, the peel's here, fine. But now, like, Happy's MIA, and so Fearless is unable to get out. So it's a great set of again, it's the strategy from Houston here is pretty good. It's just the execution. Happy messes up. And that you really hate to see it. You really hate to see it.
Well, I think the difference maker there is Donghack has the benefits of the nano boost, right? Has the benefits of that.
The biggest diff here has been the Tracer this entire match. Besides the obvious backline from Atlanta plays a little bit better than Houston's backline. I think that's the obvious one. But I think the biggest, more subtle gap, to use that term, is I think the Tracer gap here. You know, Happy's just not hitting the pulse bombs as often, has had way more corny deaths.
And Fearless just kept doing a nice job going into that middle of that choke where...
What's up, Qualify? Good to see you, mate. So really, I mean, Houston had everything lined up there, given the fact that they had no ults and they're not able to close it out.
And then putting down the bubble and then...
So the question here from Atlanta is, are they going to drop? They don't really have an ult advantage anymore. They still have lead. I would say the answer is probably no. So Houston's primary target here is probably going to be some sort of pressure to force Donghack out, then looking for some sort of nano dive up top, with pulse bomb. Let's see what happens.
You know, Happy picks up one, but Donghack does a tremendous job with the benefits of the nano and his own primal to just
pretty much.
Everybody else in the Outlaws so far out.
There's the pressure on the Winston. They force Donghack out. Now here comes the nano dive for up top with pulse bomb. Will they do it? There's a nano dive with Winston. There's the marking of Tracer. You see Stalker knows what's up.
See Stalker, you can see why he's so itchy on the trigger finger. He
Oh
knows
my
that
gosh, guys.
See Stalker, you can see why he's so itchy on the trigger finger. He knows that Atlanta are looking close.
He's so upset, guys.
See Stalker,
So they get the nano dive. They clear the high ground, but again...
he knows. See Stalker, you can see why he's so itchy on the trigger finger. He knows.
Look at that face. Look at that face. I mean, you guys, can you guys see the face? I have to remove my face cam again. You guys have to see this. This poor guy.
See Stalker, you can see why he's so itchy on the trigger finger. He knows that Atlanta are looking.
Yeah, no, I agree, I see. I think that there's been a lot of really stupid deaths, but, you know, it's never quite that simple. But, man, that is tough. It's just so many free kills.
Chasing the Tracer down, and that ended up being to his detriment. His head back, he kind of gave up on chasing the
Donghack does get naded on the trade, but honestly,
Yes, you know, now
again, Atlanta's just really not mad about that. 2 for 1, nano is used, they used nothing.
even though they lose Donghack, he's gonna have that close.
There's the nade on the brig, they force the nade on the brig, they force Sombra out. Lip gets cleared out as well. Lip tries for something cheeky, or some farming in front lane gets forced out.
And Nano potentially here. So you're gonna be in a fantastic spot, but it looks like the Rangers back up. Maybe they want to play from this high ground, right? Remember we see at the beginning.
Frontline EMP.
But it looks like the Rangers back up. Maybe they want to play from this high ground.
This guy is, I mean, look at this. This guy EMPs Sombra.
Beginning of the game, yeah.
Ah, Pelican, man. It's too easy. I'm telling you guys, frontline EMP. Backline's inaccessible. Lip takes the front line every time. And if you're not fast on the trigger finger, you're going to lose. Nice nade from Shu. It's going to clear Lip out really fast. But again, we're resetting again.
I feel like that's worth.
Pulse bomb. It's all on this pulse bomb right here. 3, 2, 1. Dive. Oh, he almost gets it. Rally's used. They're going to force, but Atlanta remains in a really easy position. They could just kite this one out pretty easily.
Well, no, now you control high ground, right?
Reset to high ground. Now we can start to fight aggressively here. Here comes the EMP. Oh, I think Atlanta's egoing a little bit here. I think Atlanta's getting a little bit too hungry here. They see Ana on rotate. They're saying go, 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 go. This could be huge. Houston, this could be huge right here.
Just sit up here on this.
Yeah, they're too focused on the kill. It's psychological, guys. It's psychological. It's not just that these guys are better. These guys right now are very focused on killing this Ana that's feeding, and that's why he hits all 3. This should be an easy fight one for Houston. The target focus is terrible, though. Violet is unable to rotate, and they do pincer in. They push in. Oh, by the way, check this out from Atlanta Reign. After the EMP, they see the EMP. Look at Atlanta Reign's backline. They nano the Winston in, and they yeet themselves in. Look at how aggressively Chio is playing here. All the divers, all of his threats are on his screen. So why not push here? Why not push here? Right? Bam. Chio's getting value mates. And that's it right there. So it gets really messy. Oh my gosh. Happy, man. He doesn't grab the mega. I don't think he grabs the mega. Oh man. Happy is to be slamming the crap out of his desk right now.
Does he know? He knows.
That's crazy. So a great EMP from Pelican. The target focus isn't clean enough, so they're not able to quickly assassinate the target in need. Atlanta Reign follows up really well with the nano and the brig push. The pulse. Let's go back and look at this here. Shu does end up dying for it. Primal on both teams is used, but Fearless is unable to get to the Primal onto the backline. They do get the kill on the Ana. Chio does have to use Rally. I mean, it's a pretty big investment from Atlanta as well. But again, the little things, right?
The nano right? Once the EMP comes in, you lose one player right away.
Like I said, Atlanta gives you no space in these dive matchups. No space. You have to do your job.
You lose one player right away.
Really nice nade from Shu. That might be a free fight win here. They will get that kill. Oh, they will not.
Even though you have that massive ultimate that comes through from the Outlaws.
It's a miracle that Donghak is alive right now.
Yeah.
He was in enemy territory and got bioed. So escapes away.
All right. There's the nano. Again, look at how this is timed. He sees whip shot, then he goes, right? My question, though, is where is Sombra, where is Tracer? Tracer just got cleared out. Stalker, notice that Stalker is actually more focused on peeling here. Stalker's ready for this dive and immediately clears out Happy. There's the recall. But Pelican is nowhere to be found. Actually, Pelican is on the front line. I don't know, like, it sometimes just really doesn't feel like Houston's backline is staged for these dives, or our front line is staged for these dives. Because the thing is if you're gonna do this, you need to get a hack, like, I think Pelican, you know, Pelican is there, but maybe he just hacks the Winston? I don't know. It's just, without replay viewer, it's hard to see, but a lot of these dives feel, again, it's like the very first dive on this map from Houston. It just feels toothless. It just doesn't feel like it has any edge to it. The Tracer is immediately gate kept out. Sombra is either not there or not doing much of anything. And just, I mean, we don't even get any space out of it, really. There's the EMP, and there it is. Good gosh, these guys are just so good at this game. Bam! Tracer, Winston, Brig, Ana. But, like, again, millisecond away. And that's it. That should be game. They don't even push cart. And that's it. That's it. We don't even need to watch this. Wow. I mean, Atlanta just does every little detail better. A lot of unnecessary deaths from Happy. Houston's dive timing is definitely not as good as Atlanta's. Yeah. Maybe it was a soft push to rotate on a brick safely, but rotate to where? Like, you're stuck on point anyway. The only time you do that is if you're trying to rotate your on a brick through the corridor to mega to high ground, but that wasn't the play. All right, well, Houston is definitely not as good at Atlanta on the dive thing. Here's what we've seen so far. Houston has performed well enough to scrape out a win on Lijiang Tower, plus performing much better, not much better, but better on the brawl. Dorado, they again scrape out a win, but mostly because Atlanta looks very uncomfortable on that map. Houston has done good enough for external factors and little compositional things like the echo and the brawl to give them an edge. So credit goes to Houston. All right, time to get silly. All right. I mean, I respect this. You're not going to beat these guys in this comp. Jajawa 12, thanks for the sub. All right, here we go. How does this composition work, ladies and gentlemen? How does it work? I'm going to get some water because my throat's killing me. That's good. I got to stand up anyway. How do they win? How do Houston Outlaws win? You tell me. Punishing Monkey, run at supports. Yeah, you can absolutely run over the supports. It's an option. Get kills, don't die, run it down, be fast. All right, we got to think creatively here. You have a lot of spam damage, all right? You have a lot of spam damage. You have a lot of Queen, you have a lot of Sombra, you have a lot of... Basically, here's how it works. You're going to have... Basically, deathmatch is how it works. Deathmatch is how it works. You're going to have Moira playing DPS Moira, maybe with a Tracer, maybe by herself. Maybe playing with a Queen, who knows? Kiriko on an angle, maybe with a Tracer, maybe with a Sombra. You're just going to spread the map. Spread the map and keep constant pressure on that monkey. Constant pressure on that monkey. What this comp is a relatively undivable comp early on. Or undivable comp early on. On a nade, Winston jump, doesn't happen. A lot of options for hack as well. So what you need to do is you need to leverage that early strength with a lot of early pressure from your Queen, with your Sombra, with your Kiriko shots, with your DPS Moira, whatever, and just shoot people. I would not leverage point with queen too much because you're going to get surrounded and you're going to get dove eventually. They're going to whittle you down. So I want to see some. You guys talk about being silly. Yeah, be silly. Whoops, I just pulled my mic out of the plug thing. Be silly, not like what I just did with my microphone. You want to kind of cause some chaos here. Take some angles, take some flanks. Set up on the back line, set up on the front line. Keep constant pressure on the monkey here. Like the thing with this composition is it's not like there's any one way to play it. You can have like flank Kiriko, you can have flank Moira, you can have flank Sombra, you can have flank Tracer, you can have like ego on the monkey, you can hunt down their translocator, you can hunt their Tracer. Try to take like a 2v1 with your Kiriko on their Tracer. Ugh. Okay, yeah. But the key thing is that it's just about being silly.
And Kiriko. So we know that Violet is very good on Moira and obviously Shu on the Kiriko. So looks to be a little bit of.
They go high. Your parents are here, I think, by the way.
The Atlanta Rain throughout.
Early pressure up top.
Really good on this point in general, Mitch. Right? Like just the survivability of the Junker Queen.
They do get the free rotate on the high ground because the Junker Queen shot in that small room in the Mega is really, really strong. Shout is used early. They force the backline out. There's your threat of running down people with Junker Queen speed. So now, even though you don't kill the Ana Brig, they're now kind of out of the fight, so then you can turn your attention to the front line. The question, though, is was it worth the shout? There's Bubble, though. There's anti-nade. Suzu cleanses it. Let's get silly. They really want that backline. They really want that backline.
Now you just kind of have this like 50-50 game where
shout, bubble.
There's not exactly a static target.
A lot of chaos here. You see like Violet taking angles. That forces fade. Oh, yeah, see, Violet kind of feeds here. Like, the problem with Violet, I've noticed, is he kind of just does things by himself. Right here. What Violet is doing with pressure on this Tracer is okay. It's not terrible value. Or not terrible value. It just needs to be accompanied by Happy doing something, Pelican doing something, Fearless doing something. The problem is that it's just Violet. So then these guys don't even need to do anything but just press mouse 1. Then he's going to have to fade out. And so then that's a free fade. And then they go, Moira no fade, let's go. And that's exactly what happens. So it needs to be constantly well-timed neutral pressure. That's the problem there. They do get the trade on Fielder.
Physically looking back at his supports just to try and see if any flankers were
yeah. So not Violet kind of goofs it. All right, let's keep going here.
At least for now, it looks like they're going to stick with it.
Yeah, I switched there. I saw
feeds for money. Yeah, exactly.
So now Winston is the choice.
Are you going to keep with the supports though? Interesting. So
yeah, you're going to keep the supports. I mean, there's no other support that you could run with this outside of maybe like Lucio, you know. But like that plays kind of all in for the speed. There's the EMP. Ooh, wow, Pelican already has EMP.
It's awkward. Make no mistake. Houston have lost.
You know, it is a lot harder for Sombra to farm into this composition, you know, because there is a lot of threats that he has to worry about. But they swapped to the Winston. Fat EMP, and it hits the front line.
It's awkward. Make no mistake.
I don't know if like see Lips very focused on top and Atlanta. Neither flanker translocates out. That's it.
Start calling him a stalk instead. Gonna be Nano though on Dong Hack here though. His intended target looks like they slipped away.
They're gonna keep going. Rally is used. Can they get point flip? Ooh, he dies before he gets primal. That's it. But the point still being stalled. Point still being stalled. How much longer can they stall it? Oh, he's thinking about the EMP. That was Fade and yeah. Forces Cole. Atlanta Reigns does a really good job stalling that one and spooking them out. Pelican gets EMP'd. Big frontline EMP. Violet fades it, but Pelican doesn't. So that's going to be a force out. The Kitsune Rush is good. This point is really, really hard to flip. It's so big, so much cover, so many things that you can do. It's really easy for you to basically play for time. Stalker gets forced out. That's an early recall. They're going to keep the pressure up on Dong Hack. Stalker is low. Wow, he's really low. He's not getting help. He's not getting help. Okay, so that puts Houston in a little bit of... Oh, man, Happy how? Does he get headshot? I don't know. He gets really low. That's unfortunate. That one feels unearned because Houston was playing that one pretty well. Oh my gosh, that tracking.
for the Rain to be happy with.
Houston still stalling this one. There's the primal. Notice that Shu really doesn't want to use his teleport there. Oh no, they give up flip. Oh no, that's a huge mistake for Houston. They need to keep flip here desperately because all this war of attrition needs to result in objective pressure. They lose the flip. We have EMP though. EMP is not used. Manual hack from Lip shuts down Pelican. There's just, it's impossible to analyze this. This is at this point just essentially a deathmatch. Everything happening, everybody staying on the same target, everybody using those mechanics to the best of their capability is how you win these fights. There's no like real strategy here. Okay, well, this is a rough one for Houston at this point in time. Let's see what happens. Because they have ults, but the ults for Atlanta are better. He's looking for Translocator.
Pillar in the middle and just kind of
and
on the platform,
they get smoked. Fielder doesn't get nano off in time. Chio freaking dies. Violet does not get his fade off in time. He's focused on the Winston, so isn't able to fade it. Shu dies as well. So surely this is it, right?
If we even get there, we're into overtime now. We're Fearless out of the picture. It's grim scene.
Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, the composition from Houston was fine. They just obviously the last fight kind of they were in a tough spot. Neither support ult goes off, and they gave up point flip. I think that's one of the huge goof ups there.
Just on Pelican to keep him down, keep him quiet.
Okay, brawl stuff. Here we go.
They'll come out with a Junker Queen again, but
roll the dice, right? Echo on this point because there's a little bit more verticality. Lip on the Tracer. I mean, it's really simple, guys. You need Tracer. You need Tracer. Lip is a good Tracer. Stalker is the Echo player. It's that simple. So is there a purpose with the Mei? You can wall off people. You can poke people. Pelican is an excellent Mei player. This is a shorter range map where the Mei can work just fine. Like, you guys are like overthinking this. This is a good map for Echo and Mei. More short range, some verticality. So you're going to lean more into the strengths here. All sorts of stuff you can do with Mei. All sorts of stuff you can do with Echo. The ult economy is really bad for Mei, but it works. Now, you might not run Mei if you had like a Winston because you prefer more of a dive threat, but you're not running Winston. You're running more Queen. You don't want to play to Atlanta's strengths here. Houston thinks they've got a cheese that can work. Let's find out. The shout's a little early. He's trying to get to the Winston as fast as he can. He sticks a knife and he leaves a knife because if he jumps out, he can pull him back in. But Donghak is able to stay. They might get point flip here. They do get point flip. That's huge. Again, you notice the Moira's just kind of doing her own thing. There's the stickies. The Suzu isn't there. I don't know where the Suzu was. The Suzu should have been there. Maybe they accidentally used it on Pelican. But he had ice block. So if that's the case, that's a huge mistake. Maybe. Why is there no Suzu for Fearless here? Because we get full stickies here, right? But Shu should have his Suzu still. So I'm confused as to what happens there. Forcing the Mei. Mei has out, or Mei is out. Mei is able to stall. Demon's a little early, but it doesn't matter. They're able to clean this one up. Okay. Do you tend to overthink? Yes. Never think. That's the key to success in life. Turn your brain off. Put zero effort into everything that you do. Don't let your parents tell otherwise. Did someone get naded early? I didn't see anybody get naded early.
Using that Echo to access that high ground, huge there. Right? The Echo and it pays off.
Okay, so let's see here.
Ostensibly harder to build.
Nano will probably go on to... Honestly, Nano could really go on to anybody. Tracer's okay here. Echo, you could use your Nano defensively here. The Winston is... I'm just hesitating a little bit because both of the supports have get out of jail free cards. So you would like to have like your Winston force one of these first and then maybe Nano. So let's see what happens. 10 out of 10 device, yes. Listen, you can't fail if you don't try. Exactly. Putting as little effort as possible into your life is the key to success, because then you have a 100% success track record. Fielder's kind of goofy with the positioning here. He's a little quirky with it. He's quirky with it, though. There's the Nano on the Winston, but you can kind of see, like, it ain't the best value. He's winning the cooldown trade, or the HP trade with Fearless, which is helpful. And I think he does force... Maybe it's the force... Okay, here's what I'm thinking. He jumped Shu. I think he jumped Shu. Yeah. Shu TP's out. And then Atlanta
Is the Sombre.
turns around, or Houston turns around, or excuse me, Atlanta turns around on the Kiriko with no TP and kills the Kiriko with no TP. I think that's the strategy there. So the Winston forcing the cooldowns and everybody else chasing the support with no cooldowns is pretty good. They use copy as well, so Houston's not, you know, crying a river over it. They really use nothing there.
Like needed to kind of try and play these counter comps. He had like
Just play the mirror.
Let's put it this way: if your Winston can land on both supports and Queen with Nano, you're gonna do that because you're gonna get Fade, Orb, maybe Suzu, and TP, and probably Shout. I mean, that's unbelievable cooldown value, right? So yes, technically Nano Tracer maybe can pursue better, but you might not get as many cooldowns.
I don't think it's crazy where I mean, especially in this scenario, right, where you could have played.
There's the peel. They go for an early dive. It's a very early. Wait, what? Is there a hack here? How does Shu die? He gets naded and doesn't Suzu. Oh, come on, guys. Come on, Outlaws. Oh, Happy. Ooh, Fielder. Fielder drops to run from Somber right into Junker Queen's waiting arms. Huge pulse from Happy. That opens things right up. And then the Cole onto Echo. Echo will die. So it does take 2 ults and obviously a huge pulse bomb stick. But wow, that was a horrible start to that fight for Houston. And they managed to close that one out.
Gets Fielder really low. He's finished off. And that control it yet. Now we'll see how they act.
Oh, they swap.
And now they get the point back. So now we'll see how they access this.
Okay, well, they really don't. I mean, the pulse. I get it. Like, if you need to make a swap, it needs to happen now, or you're not going to build an EMP. So, I mean, it hurts, but
again, as
you know,
like we got some changes here. Is high ground and
now, if you're asking me why does he use pulse bomb instead of swapping immediately?
So now. We'll see.
He's an idiot. That's the night. That's the he forgot. He forgot, guys. He forgot. He forgot. Oh no. I mean, yeah, you're right. He shouldn't have done it. It's a goof up. Alrighty. So
Sneaky.
let's see. Winston goes underneath, trying to sneak. He's got Primal. Will he get on top of Shu and Violet? They do scout him out. That's good. Gets a little bit of early pressure on him. Whittles his armor down.
Hard to be stealthy with such an immense bulk, I suppose.
Shu counters with Kiriko Ultimate. The earlier the better with Kiriko Ult. The Primal comes in. Violet still has his Fade. Perfect. Egos it out. And look at my guy. He gets the Mega. He gets the Heal Orb. And somebody make a Twitter clip about this. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's great. That was great. That was great by Violet. Huge play by Violet. That was brilliant. Really well done. So, full isolation, ult used, nothing happens. Shout in on backline, who's too close. Shout into EMP, Fielder will die, or Chio will die. Looks like Chio's gonna die. Yeah, Chio gets isolated. Happy dies again to random stuff. Oh, he gets naded. Oh my gosh, Happy has so many unnecessary deaths. Ooh, that's an unnecessary death right there. Huge shot by Fearless. Is that nade there? I don't know if that was nade. That was nade. Nade misses there. Jugger Queen basically playing Ring Around the Rosie. They need to get rid of Lip. They do get rid of Lip. Lip is really struggling to build this EMP. They might not even build it in time. Jugger Queen ult is everything here. Now, the good news is that there is nothing but Nano online. There is no Suzu to worry about. Nor Rally, which is actually good. There's the hack. There's the shout. They're trying to push. Backline backs out. They turn on here. There's the ult. It only hits Stalker, who recalls. Fearless melts. Oh, he gets pulse bombed. What on earth is happening on my screen, guys? He nanos the... He should have nanoed the Brig, I think, actually, here. His Chio could die. Yeah, that's a bad nano. Donghak is able to get Shu. Huge pulse. Happy's hit some really big pulse bombs here. The flip is big. Will buy time for them to recontest. EMP and Primal coming back in. Stalker should be able to stall just fine. There's the EMP. Hits nobody. It's nobody. It gets Suzu'd instantly, I think. It hits only Fearless, gets instantly Suzu'd. Whoa. And Fearless gets a frame perfect bubble. Watch it. EMP, but the bubble is in the cast. I mean, maybe he just mashes it afterwards. I don't know. Regardless, you can get a frame perfect bubble where it's a projectile as it's leaving your hand, and so it doesn't get EMP'd. I don't know why it does that. It's not consistent with projectiles at all, but that's how it works. Suzu's there. They run it down on Ana. Really good play from Houston here. Don't screw around on point. Get out of there. Trade. The problem, though, is that both defensive cooldowns have been used by the Outlaws support, so they do get traded. And Dawnhack still has his primal. This could really go either way. I expected to go... Yeah, I was going to say I expected to go Atlanta's way because they do have the primal. Stalker dies. Maybe to touch. But that feels unnecessary from Stalker. Don't think there was any reason for him to die there. Violet goes Lucio back on touch. EMP coming back in. Rally's coming up kind of soon. Lip kills Pelican, though, and that's the most important person to kill at this point in time. Because that's going to give Atlanta Reign time here. There's the bubble trade. Kiriko ult is here. Donghack's trying to bait it. It honestly looks like Donghack is trying to bait EMP here. It looks like he's trying to bait EMP and jump out. That's the strategy there, for sure. Ana's in the far back. Chio is on top. And just dies. Shu headshots him. Check it. Right there. You see you can see that little blip right here? Check that out. That's a Kiriko headshot right there. Bam. Bam. Body shot. Right click plus maybe a Moira right click. And that's it. Atlanta was trying to bait. I think Atlanta was in an okay spot to play this one out. There's a Kitsune rush. They just need to shoot point now. They force Stalker out. There's the solo EMP and a Donghack. He's dead. That's it. Wow. Okay. I mean, in the chaos, Outlaws able to make that one work. Happy with a couple of big pulse bombs at points in time. A couple of stupid deaths because that's just par for the course here. But yeah. Okay, here we go. Brawl time, and that is not good news for Outlaws. Now, let's talk about the matchup here. So, you guys might have seen the Atlanta versus London matchup, where Atlanta rolled out on Sombra, and London rolled out on Cassidy, and they made Atlanta look pretty shaky. Lip was unable to get any EMP charge. He was getting forced out instantly. Not the case with the Sojourn. Sojourn takes a little bit of time to force the Sombra out. So I actually think that this composition can work. Not just because, oh, lip, but also there isn't any real significant poke. It's going to kind of demand Pelican or Shu to immediately hit shots for them to be able to have some sort of a threat here. As well as, obviously, Old Economy is oppressive. If you can get this ball rolling, every single one of these ultimates is powerful in this matchup.
Sojourn, his lip will stay continuously on that Sombra.
So what happens here is
lip will stay continuously.
Oh, Violet gets moved. So Atlanta gets the rollout really fast. Happy needs to get an angle and build rail. They need to quickly clear lip. Quickly clear lip. We might see hacks on BAP or Sojourn. Yep, there's the hack on Sojourn on the angle. I imagine Happy's probably to our far left. They get the manual hack on Sojourn. They look to push Sojourn. They decide against it. Chio gets caught in the rotation and dies. I just don't think it's a good push to call. They don't need to go that far. They can hack Sojourn. Lip can just slowly pressure Happy while the rest of Atlanta looks to take the push on neutral, right? There's no reason to chase a Sojourn across the map. You can just have your Sombra pressure from an angle and demand more healing because the Sojourn, once she gets hacked, when the Sombra starts shooting her, Shu will need to pocket her, which then means that you can win the frontline trade with Fearless. Instead, they try to chase. It goofs up with Chio and he ends up dying for it. It's just a silly play from Atlanta. It's just a silly play. It's a lack of recognition. It's a poor decision. It's a good play by Houston. It's a good setup by Houston, and Houston's are. And this is not where Atlanta wanted to be in a brawl mirror in the final match. Not where you wanted to be. Lip actually goes Sojourn. Okay, so they go Sojourn. I don't think the Sombra is bad here, to be fair, but you lose that first point that fast, maybe Lip thinks this is the play to go. I would say, I mean, without having seen Happy, I don't know who's better on Sojourn. I think I haven't seen enough to know for sure. Happy is a phenomenal hit scan, but I'm not sure. Sojourn E is good, clears Lip out of the angle. The wall is really, really good. Forces an early block. It's going to force a Nemesis form out early. Lip has to rotate around. He does build his rail. There's the shot. Wow. It's a really nice angle from Lip there. And you notice, by the way, the Lucio supporting that angle. He's got Chio with him. Fearless is walled off. The BAP window is there. That might be able to buy time, but they need to get some pressure on Lip for this to work. They don't get pressure on Lip. Yeah, the Lip is under way little, like no pressure whatsoever. Basically just that Sojourn angle with the Lucio pocket just basically wins it for free.
Very difficult to get value out of that. Over the course of this map, Houston have 8 less
kills
in total than the Atlanta Reign.
Forces Happy off of the angle. Oh, that would have been huge. Fast Ram ult. Lip maybe egos on the angle and gets sucked by Ram E. I don't know. He's stuck here. Something happens over here. But something happens. Lip gets caught and ends up dying really quickly. Way more quickly than he ought to. A lot of chaos being used. A lot of chaos. Stalker chucks the Mail, ends up whiffing it. He will be able to stall a little bit. Oh, that boop from Chio almost is huge. Yeah, I mean, Houston just has like really, really fast rotate and really had no business winning that fight as quickly as they did, and they did. Yeah, okay. I think this is before the most recent change, but I'm not sure. Okay, they're gonna Sojourn ult here because really simple, long sightlines. It's hard to hide from a Sojourn here. Right? Look at all this space here. Look at all this space. So not only that, look at Pelican take the off angle here. Does anyone want to guess why Pelican is here? Why is Pelican here? Now you guys know what he's gonna do, right? He's gonna May wall off the escape here, right? Obviously. But then why would he not just be here? So pressure off angle with right clicks is one example, right? So where he can plink people hiding from the Sojourn ult. But the other thing is, like, if you were Stalker here and they press it ends now, where is that May wall going to be coming? No counter wall, right? So Stalker's going to try to May wall off here so that they can kite off this way before Pelican is able to wall them off. But Pelican says, oh, you're going to try and counter wall and counter it? No, you're not. I'm going to go on the off angle and wall off your escape regardless. So they cannot stop Pelican from cutting off their escape. There it is, right there, bam. Now, I mean, does it matter in the end of things? I don't know, but that's the theory to the counterplay, and they shut it down.
2 big kills there from Happy. Fearless cleaning some stuff.
Yeah, I think Stalker's still in spawn. Yeah, they actually went before Stalker was even there.
I didn't think they expected them to push in that fast.
Exclamation mark coaching, Danny. Should give you all the info you need. Okay. We will probably see a Sojourn ult here. Depends on how much point pressure. We're going to wait for the Ram to touch point. There's the rail. And then here we go. 3, 2, 1. There it is. They actually push in beat engage. Will they be able to ice? Okay, huge. Okay, crucial push from Houston here. They see the off angle. They say, we can't touch the off angle. Let's screw it. Let's just push it. They beat in. I think they actually get ice block, which is huge because you're going to beat for beat, right? But if you also beat for beat and get ice block, and it looks like they get lamp too, right? They get lamp too. That means then as soon as these beats expire, you're still going to have cooldowns. Right there. You see? Now Happy dies. I think that's because Happy shifts in. So Shu's late on the lamp there. But because Fielder doesn't have lamp, Fielder's going to die. I really think Houston just has a better execution in general. Ooh. Huge kill. Could go either way now. And yeah, I mean, Houston just has a better plan execution. They just have a better understanding of brawl plans, and they just execute them better. Let's enjoy this final cam here. That's great. That's great.
The Houston Outlaws
Houston earned it.
bring
Houston
a
earned it.
13
They created a war of attrition on maps like Dorado, like a little bit of Lijiang Tower to be able to pull it out, and then they won the maps that they needed to, the maps that they had an advantage.
We thought at the beginning of the year,
Map pool definitely went their way, for sure. Let's not lie to ourselves here, but they earned the win.
And when we saw the mid-season madness, you're like, man, not sure if that's going to happen.
Atlanta just not quite as comfortable in the brawl mirror. Just did not look quite as good, and you got to be wanting Dorado back. Dorado was the ugliest that I think we've ever seen Atlanta look on dive.